about to turn it on. Turn it
Hello.
Hello! Welcome back, you motherfuckers! Hope you guys had a good week. You know, you guys got out, enjoyed some of the weather. Before we start, just want to send out a quick prayer to Texas and everything that's going on there. Hope everything works out and things change coming forward in America with the safety of the children in school. But barring that, we're going to move right into what we're here for. We always complete the mission. Shout out to Smack for that. Danny, we're going to launch right into it. The NBA playoffs, East and Western Conference Finals.
All right.
So we had covered Game 1, I believe, last week of the Miami Heat versus Boston.
Yeah, that was last week's show.
Yeah, Jimmy doing Jimmy things. We're going to dive right into Game 2.
Okay.
All right. The score of that game was 127 to 102, Boston.
Yeah.
Now, Boston responded like they have,
Like it was expected, and they delivered.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the first about, I'd say 3 minutes of the game, Miami started off well. You know what I mean? And then Boston just responded with a 25-point run, and they never looked back. You know what I mean? They kept full head of steam. Points in the paint, Miami owned 42 to 30. Boston had 12 fast break points to Miami's 8.
Yep.
Boston had 37 bench points to Miami's 42. Boston actually protected the ball this game. They had 9 turnovers and only gave up 9 points off those turnovers. Miami had 14 turnovers and let up 20 points.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you look at those stats, it doesn't look like super but it's like they lose by 25. Miami shot 29%
from 3-point land.
It's like you said, Boston, they dominated the whole first half, and it's like they just rode the wave and coasted to victory.
Yeah, I mean, the half was competitive as in points scored per quarter, but they just coasted. Like you said, they got that lead and just protected it. It dipped, went back up, it dipped, went back up, but they never, I don't think Miami ever got that lead down to 12. I think it was 15 and up, it was always at.
Right.
Boston shot 51% from the field and 50 from 3-point land. That's just going to help regardless, Miami shoots 44 from the field and only 29 from 3.
I'm sorry. That's what it was. I didn't see the three that I had. Yeah, they shot 29% from 3-point line.
So Tatum, 27 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 3 turnovers. Solid game. Horford, 10 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 3 turnovers. Now, I think this is more or less the key of why they were able to fend off Miami and keep the lead at such a gap. Jaylen Brown, 24 points, 3 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 turnover. Marcus Smart, 24 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover. You know what I mean? That helped him. Where Tatum didn't need to do his 35 plus, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's not like he's doing the 35 plus consistently, but that definitely did help.
Yeah. Williams, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. Pritchard, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal.
It's a total team effort.
Yes, all around. And they played defense. They played very well. Butler did his thing, 29 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, 3 turnovers. Yeah. Gabe Vincent, 14 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound, 1 block, 2 turnovers.
I like him.
I do too.
He's a good ball player.
He is. I like what Eric Spoelstra has done with him. He's taken, all right, this is your talents, and this is what I'm asking for you if you want to be, a starter or somebody, an impactful player in this team or in this league. You can't just be, a slasher. That's it. You know what I mean? You got to play defense. You got to be able to play, distribute the ball, rebound.
Other facets of the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hero, 11 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound, 1 block, 2 turnovers. Now, we learned in Game 3, which we'll get to in 1 second, that it wasn't Game 3. It'll be Game 4. But he was ruled out in Game 4 because of a groin strain. So maybe that's what's been affecting him, because we haven't really seen the explosion from him like we have in the regular season.
Yeah.
Being the 6th man. Oladipo, 14 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 3 turnovers. I don't know why Miami hasn't been leaning on him a little bit more as a big body point guard, or to just fill in to play that point guard role. Bring the ball up when the bench is on. I mean, barring his injuries, Oladipo's fire. I mean, when he got drafted by Indiana, he was setting Indiana on fire, and then the injuries, that's what hurt him.
Yeah, I remember him, Stevenson, that whole squad they had.
Oh yeah. Paul George,
Yep.
fucking was it Butler? No, I forget. No, fuck was his name? I think it's Lee. Derek Lee? Yeah, I think Derek Lee. Back in that Indiana team, they had a squad, bro. They had they were top to bottom a squad.
Yeah.
Now from this game, the only thing I could say is like we said about Boston, great execution, way to get back on track, way to play defense, and play all around team ball.
But can they maintain that throughout the?
Yeah, can they make it a consistent?
Miami's not going to play this way every game.
Yeah, I 100%
Miami's
agree.
not Milwaukee, and Milwaukee was banged up, so
Yeah,
it's going to take a totally, like you said, complete team effort, and it's just going to take
defense and team effort. That's what it's gonna take. I mean, because Jimmy can't do it all, and like from game 2, prior to the Philly series, we're seeing the lack of production from Bam and Hero and others that need to step up.
Yeah.
Right. So moving to game 3, the Heat win 109-103. Okay.
That was a good game.
It was a good game.
Scary too.
Yes, Jimmy leaves, doesn't come back for the half, knee tightness or knee swelling.
Yeah.
Tatum shits the bed again, behind Jaylen Brown's 40 points, and a second half Miami team without Jimmy Butler.
And it's like yo, if you're Tatum, it's like yo, if all you can manage is 15 points, I don't know how many points did he finish with?
10.
Okay, yeah, 5 more points. Essentially, you would still lose by 1, but I feel like if you had those 5 extra or 6 extra points throughout the course of the game and played better, it could have been a different outcome.
Well, this is what I mean. This is why I've been getting on him since we started the playoffs. You're supposed to be the face of your team, the star.
Yeah, I'm hearing everyone else talk about him, calling him the star, and I'm like, really? Are you really watching how this kid is playing?
Exactly. Granted, he's 24, so he still may have stuff to learn. But for right now, you're a good player in the league.
Yeah.
Hands down, you're a good player. You're not great. The great ones, legends, great stars, don't score 10 points. I'm sorry, especially when their team needs it, and especially when the other team you're playing is without their best fucking player.
Yep. Or even prior to that game, going into the series, you're going up against the best team in the East.
Yeah,
so
record-wise.
you need to be at their level or better. So it's just uncalled for. And I'm not a Boston fan, but I think Boston should move on from him at some point.
All right. A quick. We'll get that quick. He's 24. By the time he's 28, if this is the same thing, you gotta go.
Yeah.
But if shit changes by the time he's 28, I'd say keep. Yeah, you're invested for so long. You know what I mean?
Right.
So points in the paint, Miami won 48-34. Fast break points 15-8, Miami. Bench points 26-16, Miami. Turnovers, 8 turnovers from Miami. They only gave up 9 points off those turnovers, right? Boston, 23 turnovers.
That's not, no.
33 points off of those turnovers. I don't care if you shoot 60%. I don't care if your whole team drops 15 plus points. You're not winning that game.
No. I mean, it would be a higher scoring game, but I don't know. You're not winning that game.
You're not. It's not in the cards. Like, especially them not having Jimmy, and you like Miami stepped up. If we're looking at this as a team, they stepped up, and especially Bam.
Yeah, big time.
Like, he finally showed up and held the ship down. You know what I mean? 31 points, 6 assists, 10 rebounds, 4 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover. Where the fuck has that been? And I liked what Miami did in that game. Letting Adebayo bring the ball up and run the offense through him. That first quarter, they were giving it. It was bam, 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 and not in the sense of a sound to actually Bam Adebayo. I know, a little weird, haven't said his fucking name like that. So he was balling.
Yeah.
Like for future games coming, Bam, you don't gotta drop the 31, dog.
Put up at least 20.
No, not even. Give me 17 with the 5 assists and the 10 rebounds and 2 steals and a block. That's all I want.
Yeah.
You know? Butler,
If
8
you can
points.
put up 17, if Oladipo can put up 17, Jimmy puts up 35.
Or 30 or 27. You know what I mean?
15 from Hero, whatever.
Yeah, or, you know, well, he may, out of depending on if he's going to play or not. Vincent, 10 points. Robinson, 10 points. You know, these, like, they're a deep team. And I think we talked about it last week, and if we didn't, we probably talked about it off air. Miami has to make Boston pay for how deep they are. They're deep too. They may not be as deep as Boston is right now because of injury, but you got to. You have to. You have to make Boston respect every person that steps on that floor. And to do that, start putting, like Duncan Robinson, they paid him all this money. The guy barely fucking played.
Yeah.
So Butler had 8 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. You know. PJ Tucker stepped up, 17 points, 1 assist, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover. Struss, 16 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 block, 1 turnover. Lowry, big game, 11 points, 6 assists, 1 rebound, 4 steals, 2 turnovers. So Miami got what they wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you just take away Jimmy, they got what they wanted from their team. So this should be proof to Miami as in, if we just play together, these guys can't beat us.
With or without Jimmy.
With or with, well, that'll be a lot harder. But just for the fact of, like, if we had Jimmy.
As deep as they are, and as well as those guys can play, without Jimmy, yes, it's harder, and I still see that Miami could pull it out. I mean, it would probably be a 7-game series if that was the case, but I still feel like Miami could pull that out. Just because the way Boston has been playing, the way they're playing in this series so far is exactly how they did against Milwaukee. Win, lose, win, lose, win. Until game 6 and 7, they were back and forth, and for the most part, outside of 2 games in maybe the last series, and then game 2, where's Tatum been? So that's, at least in my mind, like if Jimmy does suffer a setback with this injury, I believe Miami's fine moving forward. It becomes a different animal if they make it into the NBA Finals and they don't have Butler going up against potentially, well, most likely Golden State. Then yes, different. But right now, if I'm Miami, I'm right where you want to be.
I couldn't agree more with you. I mean, you stole game 3. That really was a steal.
It was a steal. I just feel like
No, that's a steal. That's a steal.
Think so?
That's a steal. No Jimmy in the second half, and Jimmy really wasn't existent in the first half to begin with. Only 8 points. We ran through Miami what they got. Tatum did 10 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 turnovers. We've been talking about that all playoffs. That turnover shit got to stop. Has to. Horford, 20 points, 3 assists, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 turnovers. Jaylen Brown, 40 fucking points. 1 assist, 9 rebound, 1 steal, 1 block, 7 turnovers. A lot of turnovers, but he's not known for it as in Tatum is.
Yeah.
But this is what we're talking about as in like a star. Brown is not your guy. He stepped up, put the 40 fucking points on the floor, and where the fuck were you? In fucking La La Land. Marcus Smart has 16, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 4 turnovers. Williams, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover.
That's why I just feel like, I get it. Yeah, Tatum is good, but I mean, it's like he's playing super, super shitty, and it's like, is this really your guy moving forward? I mean, dude, think of it this way. Here's why I say it's a problem. You say, oh, by the time he's 28, if it's still the same, get rid of him. Dude, he's been with them for 5 years, going on 6 years already. Since 2017, 2018. Move on. Get out of here. Like, okay, yeah, the first year or two, he's developing. But, I mean, even when he first came in the league, he still wasn't that. He was still, from what I remember, a good ball player. Just, not in my eyes. No way. From what I've seen these last two series, no.
All right. Well, I figured out our problem of why you were echoing. We'll talk about it at our break. I hope this sounds better for everybody.
All right.
Uh, 5 years. I mean, he's 24. They got him when he was 19. I mean, look at Milwaukee though. Milwaukee is stuck with Giannis, and look at where they're at from it. You know what I mean?
But are you kidding me? Do you see the level that Giannis plays at and the level that Tatum plays at?
Yes.
Giannis is arguably
Yes.
the greatest basketball player in the world.
No, he is. He is the greatest basketball player in the world.
Is, but just to make it debatable, whatever. You're kidding me, right? Like, and they won a championship last year.
Yeah.
Apples to oranges.
All right, I can't argue with that. I agree with you. That is apples to oranges, you know. But it's not like, all right, it's an apples to oranges, but they're both fruits.
Well,
So I mean, Tatum in a sense has the skill to put those points up, right? But I think for him being as big as he is, his rebounds have to go up. That's just a fact. You know what I mean? And some games he's pedestrian, and some games he's not. You know what I mean? Like, I understand what you're saying, apples to oranges, because, like, Giannis he'll put up the 30, 40 points, he'll have the 14 rebounds, and he'll almost have, like, 9 assists.
yeah.
So, if he wants to be in that conversation and actually help his team more, 10-point games got to stop. Every game you play in the playoffs has got to be
25 or better.
I would say 20 plus, just because they're so deep. If they had one or two less guys.
Yeah, but the way you've been playing now, it's like, I don't care. I need to see 25 or better. Like, no. You're supposed to be the star. You're supposed to be the guy. No. 20 is not good enough. Would 20 have been good enough for Kobe? No. Even with his cast that he had. You know, it's just, that's my opinion. But, no. 25 or better for me. Because you're the star, so with the cast that you have, why would your cast put up more points than you? Unless you're out, then yes. Okay, now you need to use your bench. Now you need to use, you know.
Look, there's no problem if Jaylen Brown or somebody scores right along with him, but that 40 points to that 10 points, like, I understand what you're saying, dude. You're supposed to be right fucking there with him. 10 points. Like, you got old man Horford out here giving it his all, putting up 20 points, 13 rebounds.
He's putting up more points than you.
Exactly, and you're the key in this entire system. So now, granted, next game, which we're going into game 4, they responded. Now, the way it looked, they responded like they have all season. You know, pedal to the metal, aggressive, clean basketball.
Yeah, but it's like they only do this when their back's up against the wall. They don't do this in a take charge, take the lead, and they're up 2-1 in a series kind of thing. They do this when they're like, fuck, our back's up against the wall. We got to win game 4 because we're going on a road in game 5. It's like a desperate win. Granted, you won by a lot. You won by 20 points. But still, it's a desperation move for me. That's what it screams, desperation in my books. Like, your back's up against the wall.
Well, all right, so Tatum did redeem himself, but as in, like, the bench for Boston, they came back down to earth, right? So Tatum, 31 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. I like it. 3 turnovers. Keep it under. Williams the third, big defensive piece for them. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. Jaylen Brown, 12 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 turnover. Derek or Devin White, 13 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers. He played for Smart. Pritchard's been a fucking little asshole, like a thorn in the ass for Miami this series, you know. Kid's a little undersized, so that's a liability of the defensively, but otherwise he shoots the ball good, he rebounds, you know, he distributes for the minutes he has. 14 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover.
Yeah.
Now Horford came back down to earth. 5 points, 3 assists, 13 rebounds, 4 blocks.
Because he's old. He's not going to put up 15 to 20 every night like that.
Yes. All right. Absolutely. Now, Butler makes his return. Hero absent for Game 4, like we said. Now, first quarter, anybody who watched or listened or game casted, you heard, saw, you had seen or heard what the fuck I had heard and seen. The Miami Heat could not score a bucket for the life of them. And what I mean by the life of them, I wanted to go start a GoFundMe fucking page for them. I'm going to say by about 7 minutes left in the first quarter, I tweeted it, if you'll see on my Twitter. I said, does anybody want to donate to charity to buy them a bucket? Because they scored 1 point. 1 point. They didn't score a bucket until 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first quarter.
I mean, they shot 33% for the whole night.
They went 30 for 90. All right. So now, all the other shows that you guys may listen to or you hear on the radio, you'll hear them say Boston's the better team. Boston played very well. This and that, giving them the praise. Okay? I want everybody to understand this. Okay? So the score was 102 to 82. All right? Miami played like shit. Shooting the ball. 100%. Defensively, not bad.
They were fine. I thought.
102 points. That's not bad. That's way under the league average, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Or it's right at it.
Okay. Out of those 60 shots they miss, make 10 of those 2-pointers. It's a tie game.
Yep.
Make one of those shots a 3-pointer. Miami wins by 1. I want everybody to think about that. Literally. So yes, Boston played better. Tatum responded. Actually, I wouldn't say better. Boston played to their strengths with Tatum being who he should be.
But Boston's not the better team.
I don't. It's very even right now, and I don't understand. It's even right now because it's 2-2.
Even if it's even, or even if Boston advances, I don't care. In my eyes, Boston is still not the better team. Well, how can you say that? They didn't advance. That's fuck you. Because Miami is just the better team. If they don't advance, it's because they were off. Like they were off in game 1 or they were off in game 4. You know, it's really
that's what I said.
That, but I still just regardless, Miami's the better team. My opinion.
I believe it too.
Sue me.
No, I'm not suing you because I believe it too. And that's what upsets me about all, like, you know, ESPN New York and all these radio stations saying it, like, being almost disrespectful to the Miami Heat. You know? Like, hey, you know, they actually went to a finals, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At least they've been there. And they've gotten better. But I want everybody, like I said, to take a look at that. 10 shots. 2 points apiece. It's a tie fucking game.
Yep.
Now, we all know Miami's not going to shoot like that again.
No.
That's a once in a while thing. And I mean by while is like once every maybe 20, 30 games you get that. Right? So, if Boston plays the same way tonight, they will lose. They will lose.
Because Miami's going to come out swinging tonight.
Yes. And especially that they're at home, they're going to come out swinging. And they're going to try to lay it on them. Lay it on them. And I wouldn't blame it. You know what I mean? You know Jimmy's going to be upset.
Yeah.
You know, Spoelstra's going to be upset. I don't think he was probably upset, but like I said when we talked the other night, you have to be happy at least with your defensive effort. You
Absolutely.
know, and as you're the coach of the team, you're going to tell them, hey guys, it's a once in a while thing. You know what I mean, we're definitely not going to shoot the way we shot
Shake it
tonight. The
off,
next game,
go get 'em next
shake
game.
it off. Let's execute the next game defensively like we did tonight, and we shoot the ball better, gentlemen. We're walking away with it.
Maybe pass the ball a little bit more.
Dude, they did pass the ball all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not like I said, like maybe pass the ball a little more because it's not like they need to, but maybe just try to pass it a little bit more. Maybe try to get some better looks.
All right. Butler 6 points, 1 assist, 7 rebounds, 1 turnover. Adebayo 9 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 turnovers. Lowry 3 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers. Vincent 6 points, 7 assists, 1 rebound. Oladipo 23 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 turnover. That man was in offense by himself.
He was.
And he's obviously a mismatch for Boston. He needs to be in that state. He needs more minutes tonight.
So does he need to be out there on the floor with Jimmy, or is it like when Jimmy and the starting 5 is off the court, he's on there with the bench,
or he's
on
out
the
there
court,
like it's him. Maybe when Jimmy's out, right? And
when he's out there, he leads the offense. And
all right, yeah. So so he would lead it with Vincent, maybe Tucker out there, and maybe just Adebayo and those guys.
Yeah.
So we went over Miami's bench point. Oh no, I'll give it to you the points in the paint. 28-38 Miami. 28 points for Miami in the paint. 38 for Boston. 12 fast break points for Miami. 9 for Boston. Bench points 64. Boston 29. Both of them had 9 turnovers apiece. Miami led up 13 points to Boston 7. Now you said earlier Miami shot 33%, 30 out of 90. Their 3-point 38.9. Boston 40%, 39.7 from the field. Their 3-pointing was atrocious, 23.5. So these are little things. These are little stat lines that'll give you the keys to tell you of how this game went without having to watch it, or if you had missed it and you didn't see the highlights. You know what I mean? Yeah, 20 points. Oh, it's a lot. In basketball, honestly, 20 points is not as big as we think it is. Maybe we're covering up for the Heat a little bit. No, there's no excuse for them to shoot like that. I'm sorry. That's the wrong time to shoot like that.
And it's not a cover-up, but I mean, the good teams in the league, if they're down by 20, they can turn that around in a blink of an eye.
Oh, it was at one point. It was at like 30 some odd points.
So that's why I say I don't really think 20 is that big of a deal. I mean, unless you're you're one of the lesser teams in the league, yeah, okay, then it's going to be harder to come back if you're down by 15 or more.
Yeah.
But for the good teams, they lock down on defense, make some shots, get a steal here or there, make a couple free throws, you're back in it in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, basketball's a game of runs. So, losing by 20, okay, maybe they went on a run, maybe you got it down to 15 or whatever. Miami just played like shit shooting-wise, right? There's no we can't get around that.
Yeah.
But I suspect tonight is going to be different.
I do too.
All right, moving on to the next series, which shouldn't take us long, because
no.
I guess we'll just dive right in. Game 1. Mavs lose 112-87. Golden State controlled that game for the most part.
And they controlled the first and the third quarter. Outside that, it was kind of close-ish.
Ish,
maybe.
Ish.
Because the Warriors dominated the first and third quarter by plus 10.
Jesus. Well, I mean, they won the paint at 44-32. They had 18-7 fast break points. They had 37-33 bench points.
I mean, the Warriors out-rebounded the Mavs 51-35.
Yeah, so that's plus 16 on the boards. They shot 56% from the field, 34% from 3. And
how many times have we seen the Warriors shoot over 50% within a game this postseason?
A couple times already. I mean, and it's because we'll just run down it real quick. Wiggins 19, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers. Green 10 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover. Looney 10 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 turnover. Thompson 15 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. Curry, 21 points, 4 assists, 12 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 3 turnovers. Jordan Poole, 19 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Otto Porter, 10 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds, 1 steal. 7 guys with 10 plus points.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat. That's really hard to beat.
It is.
And you know, Dallas only had 3 guys assisting fucking Luka that went over 10 points. Bullock, 12 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. Brunson, excuse me, 14 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Luka, mediocre game, 20 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 7 turnovers. Turnovers got to come down from him too. That's been an issue for him lately as well. When he's having a bad game, he turns the ball over a lot.
Because he's trying to do too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all. Dinwiddie had 17 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, 1 turnover.
That's not bad, but I mean, like you said, outside of him, Luka, and that other guy,
Brunson and Bullock, and well, Dinwiddie, Brunson, and Bullock. You know, this game 1, they all right, they played good, but when Golden State has 7 guys with 10 fucking plus points, it's hard to imagine that like any team in the league would win that game. I mean, they lost by a favorable margin. I would say better teams would have the margin closer, but that's hard to beat in general. Even if you could say any team in the league, if you have 7 guys putting up 10 plus points, I think you could beat anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's perfect basketball.
Almost in a sense, yeah. I agree.
Offensively, that's a perfect offensive game. Everybody was clicking, not just one guy or two. You know, everybody. 7 guys. You know what I mean? So we'll move to game 2.
Oh my God. Yo, Dallas completely fucking collapsed, man. I was like, because obviously I've been following the series since game 2, but it's like, yo, that was the game Dallas needed to win.
Yes. Yes.
If they had won that game, it would be a different series right now.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Probably.
Because if they had won that game, it'd be 3-2 right now, not 3-1. or it'd be 2-2, or it would be different. You know, that was the game they fucking needed.
They had a 19-point lead.
Yeah.
19 points. Now, granted, Golden State and basketball's a game's run, they can accumulate points very fast.
That was
like on
Golden State shot 56%.
Yeah, and then 50 from 3. You know what I mean? You know,
I mean,
the Mavs shot 47 from the field and 46 from the 3, so they shot just as well.
Dude, the Warriors scored 62 points in the paint. That was half of their team's total. What the fuck?
Yeah, and Dallas only scored 30.
And Golden State's not even a big team like that.
Yeah. I mean, they had the turnovers 13-12, Golden State, and then both of them gave up 11 points. But bench 36-13. And what I have written in my notes was, obviously Dallas only wants production from Luka and whoever the other three guys that are going to step up, whether it be Brunson, Bullock, Finney, Dinwiddie, just somebody step the fuck up. Kleber. No. Bullock, 21 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 turnover. Finney, 10 points, 2 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 block, 2 turnovers. Brunson, big game, 31 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 turnovers. Luka, gigantic game, 42 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers. But Golden State again. They had 1 less player scored this time in that game, 10 points. But Wiggins, 16 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. Looney, 21 points, 2 assists, 12 rebounds. Thompson, 15 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Curry, 32 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. Jordan Poole, 23 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. Portis, 11 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. When you... I don't like this is what aggravates me from looking at it. You're not playing anybody else. You're playing Golden State.
Yeah.
I don't care who they have on the team. As long as they have those core guys, they can shoot their way out of anything. And that's exactly what they fucking did. They took advantage. Too many open threes. It's just... It's too much. And the fact that you had 19 points lead and you blew it is unacceptable. You know, if you said we were up by 7, all right, dude, that's not a big lead. I mean, all right, you lost. But 19 points, if you're supposed to be a championship caliber team, you don't lose games like that.
No.
Just straight up, you don't lose games like that.
It was total collapse, man.
It was. And now we'll move on to game 3, which is pretty much almost the same fucking thing.
Because they had a lead in that one too, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a lead. Well, they were fighting back and forth throughout the whole game, even with the leads. It was they got 3 monstrous games from 3 of their players in game 3. That's it. Okay? Brunson, 20 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 turnover. Doncic, 40 points, 3 assists, 11 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. Dinwiddie, 26 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds, 1 turnover. When you have an 86 points from a trio, you should win this game, right? All you're looking for is what, 30 points from your bench? Somewhere near it, 20, 25.
Yeah.
I mean, 14 points from the entire fucking team. 14 points from fucking, let's see, I think it was about 10 guys that played. 7 other guys averaged 2 fucking points.
Yep.
And Golden State only had 5 guys with 10 plus points now. Wiggins, 27 points, 3 assists, 11 rebounds. Monster fucking dunk over fucking Luka.
Yo.
Holy shit. My boy said, white boy, you done come for dead. Yeah. Green, 10 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers. Thompson, 19 points, 3 assists, 7 rebounds. Curry, 31 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers. Poole, 10 points, 1 assist, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. So, you had a bad game from Poole, and you stopped one less guy from scoring 10 plus points. Wiggins and Curry gave you what they needed, right? So, Mavs closed the gap, played way better in the paint, right? They only let 46 points in the paint to Golden State to their 34. They were even on fast break points, 5 points apiece. Bench points, Mavs had 28 to the Golden State's 13, so you're winning in that category, right? Golden State had 10 turnovers to 10 points. They only had 7 turnovers to 8 points. Now, Golden State shot 46.9 from the field and 34 from the 3. The Mavs shot like shit from 3, 28.9 and only 40% from the field. So, yes, the 3-point shooting needs to get better, but you got what you wanted as in terms of points, but you only got it from 3 fucking guys.
And in a sense, if like, not really, because on a regular night that's good, but I mean, in a sense, the Warriors played kind of shitty.
They played bad enough. They played bad. They played okay. All right, they played well enough to win and lose that game.
Yeah.
Just that, like, they played right in between the black and white line. Whichever way it teetered, you could have an opinion on it. All right, they won. They battled out. You know? They lost. They got to play a little better. You know what I mean?
Right.
Dallas played a little bit better on them defensively. But still, 14 points. Are you fucking shitting me? 14 fucking points? How do you not, as a coach, look at the bench, look down at the bench and go, really?
Ain't none of y'all can put up a few more points.
Like I'm doing this right now. Like I'm shaking my head. I'm looking down. Like that's all. If you're Jason Kidd, that's all you could do. Where's Bullock? Where's Kleber? Where's Finney Smith? Where is everybody?
Yeah, no, for real.
You're not gonna beat Golden State. I don't care who you are. With only 3 guys to 4 guys putting up to 10 plus points. Now, Game 4, We had a discussion about it. Everybody was like, "Oh, they're probably going to sweep." The way I looked at it, I think they were going to get. I thought Golden State was going to give them that game anyway to go home and close it out in front of their fans, because that's what teams like to do. And the NBA makes more money that way anyway. Everybody makes more money, and everybody's happy. Another game of basketball.
The only people that aren't happy are the fans in Dallas and their fans.
Well, they shouldn't be upset with anybody, but their team. Potentially right now they should be up 3-1. If you count last night, and you count the previous game 3, and you count game 2, they don't blow the 19-point lead. They actually get somebody to score, more than, like let's just say they had another guy have 10 points.
Yeah.
They win. They win that game.
Worst case scenario.
2-2.
Yeah.
2-2. Say Golden State wins it at the buzzer in game 3.
Yeah.
Right. So it's 2-1. It's 2-1. Now, go into the game 4. You win that game 119-109. Golden State 44 points in the paint. Dallas held them out. Kept them at that range. 36 points. They had themselves. Fast break points. Golden State had 11-10. Bench points 51-33. Golden State's bench came back and played.
Yeah.
9 turnovers for Golden State, only 6 points off those turnovers. They shot 49.4% from the field and 35.7% from the 3-point. So not bad. You know what I mean?
No, they still shot well.
Dallas shot 50 from the field.
Dallas held them under 50%.
Well, the 3-point shooting finally arrived for Dallas because they shot 50 from the field and 46.5 from 3. And holy shit.
What?
Did you know that in game 4, Dallas had other players show up and play with them and play in the game?
Oh.
Yeah, because, they had 6 guys over 10 fucking points.
See what happens?
It's a
It's
5-man
game. I mean, you have more than 5 guys on a team, but when you're out there, it's a 5-guy effort.
Exactly. And now, barring Dallas, maybe they're tired or they just wanted to skate with their 30-point lead going into the fourth quarter. They let Golden State make a run at it.
Yeah.
They won.
And we're sitting here, we're watching this game like, yo, I swear.
Like we're watching it unfold. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Now they played defense a little better, to keep them at 109. Wiggins had 13 points, 1 assist, 5 rebounds. Green 10 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 turnover. Thompson 12 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, 2 steal. Curry 20 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. Kuminga, the young bull, 17 points, 1 assist, 8 rebounds, 2 turnovers. Poole 14 points, 4 assists, 1 block, 2 turnover. Moody, don't even know who he is, but that's just another guy out there scoring 10 points for 2 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 turnover. So again, Golden State has 7 players score 10 plus points, right? And I said it's hard to beat. But when you actually have a team yourself,
Yeah.
just put up the 10, you have a shot to win and compete. Bullock, he I guess he stopped smoking crack and got clean. 18 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, swapped a couple good threes. Finney, 23 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 turnovers. Brunson didn't need to put it all on his shoulders, with Doncic, 15 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 block. Doncic, 30 points, 9 assists, 14 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. So Luka did everything, a little bit of everything.
Right.
Kleber, the fucking NBA Kramer, because the guy just slid back in the door like he was looking for food, because he had 13 points and he shot the 3-pointer a little bit, pretty good. 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 block, 2 blocks, 1 steal. Dinwiddie, he needs to play better. I'm sorry. 10 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 3 turnovers. I mean, so we see if they can just have guys step up and play, they can win.
But you see how Golden State almost came back into it. It's like, to your point that you said before. I think you said it back for the last game. Dallas is tired, man.
They gotta be.
I mean, and it's not to say that these other teams, in a sense, aren't tired, but Dallas has got to be tired.
Well, they went 7.
in the last series, and they won that. You know, I think it's taking its toll, definitely.
Well, we're going to see in Game 5. They're going back to a hostile environment. You know Golden State's going to be headhunting that night, right? So, now if it goes down to the wire and they lose, then maybe we can blame it on exhaustion. But if they just have the same, if they have a collapse again, or only 3 guys are scoring fucking 10+ points, and Luka's doing his 40 points,
Yeah.
then you guys just had to play better. That's all that it comes down to, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
And like we were talking about it, now I don't think Clay's gonna be there next year.
Ooh, yes, I agree.
And you brought it up, the perfect place for him to be.
I mean, your 2 teams were nice, but for some reason, like I wasn't thinking about it until it literally just clicked in my head. I was like, no, Klay Thompson should go to Dallas in the offseason.
Yeah, and
Luke
I think
definitely needs another weapon, and like I feel like Klay is the perfect fit in Dallas.
yeah, and we did the points differential. And every game, if you put Clay's points on fucking on Dallas, they win every game.
Yeah. So.
Not by much, but they
No,
win every
but
game.
It's a difference maker for sure. So.
All right, so we're gonna move on to top 5 dead or alive, and we're doing NBA centers this week.
You gonna take off lead, or you want me to lead?
Why don't you lead? I'm a little bit curious to see your top 5 because I know you've been deliberating with yourself for a while on what it was gonna be. Because it's just let's see what you got.
Yeah, because when I originally did this list, like I had Shaq higher on my list originally, but then like when I really broke it down, I really started looking into the guys. I was like, yeah, no, that's more like, not that he wasn't a good player, but that'd be more like fandom. Like, yeah, Shaq's number 1. No, let's be realistic, dum. So I got Bill Russell number 1. I got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar number 2. Wilt Chamberlain number 3. 4 I got Shaq, and then 5 is Hakeem Olajuwon.
That's
With an honorable mention in Tim Duncan, because it was between him or Olajuwon for the 5th spot, and I chose Olajuwon at the last second before we started. So.
To me, I don't know about Bill Russell at number 1. If you're gonna say it's the sake of championships, okay. All around, I think I don't know. It's your list. It's your list. You know what I mean? I have Wilt number 1, just for the sake of what he can just do as a player playing center. Right. Leading 100 points game, leading in scoring. Then next year he goes out there and he leads in assists, and most rebounds in a game. The list just goes on for him.
Right.
So I had to put him 1 naturally. Number 2, I had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Most points scored in the league, championships.
Yep.
It was hard for me not to put him second.
Yeah.
Number 3, I had Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
I just thought his career and what he was able to do with the basketball and the way he played. Excuse me. Granted him a spot on the list, so I put him at 3. I had Shaq at 4. I think you did too, right?
Yeah.
So we were on the same mindset about that. And then number 5, I had Moses Malone.
Okay.
Tim Duncan to me played more power forward than center. The Admiral, he was great as a Hall of Famer. I wouldn't, not top 5 dead or alive. You know what I mean? Nah. So, if you guys want to give us your top 5, don't be scared. Tweet it right to the show. You know what I mean? Or tweet it at one of us. Call us assholes, call us idiots. Whatever you want. So we're gonna move on to the NFL draft grades. Danny, me or you? Huh?
No man, well you lead. I let off with the dead or alive. You can lead.
All right. So we're doing the big boys this week. The big guys on campus. The playoff division all in itself. The AFC West.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna lead off with the Chargers. Now I gave them a B minus. Now their first pick was offensive guard Zion Johnson out of Boston College. I love the pick. It's time to protect Herbert. You got all these weapons. You know, you got the defense loaded up.
Yep.
Go for it. Round 3, they didn't have a second round pick. With the 79th pick, they took J.T. Woods, safety out of Baylor. So a young guy, you know, probably had some depth. I like it. You know what I mean? He was definitely projected within the first 3 rounds. Then in the 4th round, at the 123rd overall pick, they took Isaiah Spiller, a running back out of Texas A&M. So, granted, with the health of their running backs,
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to drafting a running back for them because their running backs have been shaky every year. Once somebody's hurt.
And if they get a true run game with that offense, and oh my.
So that's why I gave them a B minus. You know, I think with their offseason picks and you know at least the first 2 guys are going to make an impact. You know, we'll see if Isaiah Spiller is going to be immediately a third or a 4th running back, but I think he can make the team and depending on his skill set and how he's developed and the way the history goes for their running backs and their health, you know, if I was him, my eyes would be wide open because I'm like, oh, one of these motherfuckers is going down. You know what I mean? And then I get my shot. One of these motherfuckers got to go. All right, Danny, who you got next?
All right, I have the LA Raiders. So with their first pick in the 3rd round, pick 26, they took offensive lineman Parham out of Memphis. He was drafted 6'2", prospect grade, so he's projected to be an average starter. I like the pick though. You know, Derek Carr was sacked 40 times last year, so hopefully this kid can help alleviate some of the pressure. But if not so much that, he definitely should help improve a lackluster run game, which averaged 95 yards a game last year.
Yeesh.
So,
and that's as a team. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree. And I think their offense was I think in the top 15 in the league. I think if I remember correctly.
The Raiders?
I think.
I believe so. I mean, even if they were middle of the pack, they still had a pretty good offense. You know, it was just everything that happened to that team that year was just like they were one of the most resilient teams in the league. You know what I mean?
They blocked out all the bullshit and they just kept playing.
They kept grinding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they actually made the playoffs on like, you know, pretty much a hope and a prayer because they could have been dicks. Both the Chargers and the Raiders been like, let's just tie and boot out the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Then we both get to go.
Right. So the next pick in the 4th round, pick 17, they took Zamir White, running back out of Georgia. They gave him a 6.25 prospect grade. He's supposed to be an average starter. But I really like this kid. I really do. You know, 3 years at Georgia, he had good numbers. He rushed for over 2,000 yards, 25 touchdowns. So I think he won't be a starter from day one, but I think eventually he'll take the job from either Kenyon Drake or Josh Jacobs. You know, granted, they're still both young.
I would say he'll take Kenyon's space. He's probably not going to take whatchamacallit, what's his name? It just blanked out in my head. It was
Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I don't think he's taking Josh Jacobs' spot.
I mean, dude,
not now. Maybe barring a year, you know, a couple years.
Rushing yards a game last year. So regardless if it was either Drake or Jacobs running the ball last year, they didn't run the ball well last year. So maybe this kid's the answer, maybe not. But like I said, you know, I think he will one day take that starting job from one of them. And whether it be halfway through the season or at the start of next year, I can see it happening.
You're putting a lot of stock into him.
Well, he looks pretty good, you know, and he was a part of that Georgia team that won a national title. You know, they had a good offense. They had a great defense. A lot of guys came from that team.
They had an NFL defense out there.
That's what
I mean, they had an NFL defense out there.
You know, at least with Georgia, if you're coming from Georgia and you were really a part of that offense or that defense, I can definitely see you being a difference maker for a team.
All right.
So their next pick in the 4th round, they took defensive tackle Neil Farrell out of LSU.
I am for real.
He's supposed to be projected as an average backup or special teams maybe. I mean, in 5 years at LSU, he had pretty good numbers. He had almost 150 total tackles, but he's just gonna, I think, be a good depth piece to an already good defense.
All right. Well, they're not already good. They're okay.
Well,
They're okay.
I feel
With the pieces they added this offseason, they can be better. Yes, but last year they were just okay. Like the team was, they were like the fine line again. You know what I mean? That fine line of you suck or you just alright. You know what I mean?
Just can't get over that hump.
Yeah, that's essentially what it was. Because right in the first round of the playoffs, they got fucking whoop. Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, but I from those picks, I like what they did in the draft, and I give them a B. I feel like the offensive lineman's good. It should help improve their run game or protect Derek Carr, or maybe their guy that they just brought in. I won't say his name yet though.
Right.
But yeah, I think it was a good draft.
That's not bad.
Go Raiders.
Dude, I'm rooting for the whole division besides Kansas City, and we covered Kansas City to an enormous amount on our anchor. You guys can find that episode where we compared it, like that saying riches to rags, or rags to riches. Apologies, rags to riches. Well, it's different now. It's gonna be Chiefs to rags. They drafted very well. I gave them a B plus. First round, 21st overall pick, Trenton McDuffie, cornerback out of Washington, solid pick, day one starter. Second pick in the first round, the 30th overall, they took George Karlaftis. I'm a little not on him. Good player, good player for where he was. I'm just skeptical on that pick. He played out of Purdue. Who does Purdue really play?
Yeah,
I mean, this is a common thing we bring up every week when we cover these teams. Like, yeah, the player's good, but who is he playing competition wise? I would have liked to seen a lineman for them. Get Pat a little bit more protection.
Definitely.
So then round two, they went with the 54th overall pick, Sky Moore, a wide receiver out of Western Michigan. Solid pick. Fresh blood in there. Maybe he's as fast as Tyreek, or it can be used like Tyreek.
Either way, you had to definitely bring in somebody else.
You had to draft a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Then the second pick in the second round, the 62nd overall pick, they took Brian Cook, a safety out of Cincinnati. Cincinnati had a very solid year, and the defense looked good. So I looked at a little bit of his film. Probably got a little bit to work on, but he should be a contributing factor for them. In their packages and whatnot, and maybe he may boom into something that is bigger than what we think he'll be at, or what they have him projected at. Then round three, the 103rd overall pick, they took Leo Chanel, a linebacker from Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a pretty good school. Play against pretty good competition. They do need help at linebacker, so hopefully he can help in such a way. He probably has weaknesses that they want to address, but they felt the need to go get it. I like that they went defensive. I like that they went that wide receiver. I just think an offensive guard or an offensive tackle, something, would have helped them even more than the draft is now. That's why I gave him a B plus. If they had drafted a lineman that second pick in the first round with 30th overall, that's an A minus to an A plus almost, or just an A. They covered all their bases that they had lost or were a weakness, and now they're building on it. I mean, if it wasn't for that defense last year, they wouldn't even have been where they were. Because
for the first 6 games, that defense looked like fucking shit.
It looked like shit because they're expecting. It looked like shit because they're expecting Pat to go out there and score points.
And just run around and just fucking fling it and throw it wherever he wants.
Exactly.
And expect Kelsey and Hill to just be like, yeah, we're always open, guy. It's Madden.
Well, they're an attacking defense. So when they have a lead, they can attack. They can play off people's mistakes. In those 6-7 weeks, they were behind. They lost a lot of games. Pat threw a lot of interceptions. That's when Andy Reid said, all right, we got to dial back and we have to take this slower. We can't play so fast because it's just not working out for us. We're not capable of that with our offensive line and everything that was going on. and they changed. So they went to more of a traditional style under center, more offense, more methodical. We're able to compete in games, get some leads, not big leads, but leads where their defense can play attacking defense, and the defense shined from there on out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So
It was a good draft.
I still think they finished third or fourth in that division. I
I
just
agree.
I think with their losses, it's too much.
And I think the only team that they would finish ahead of would be the Raiders. Everybody else is going to be ahead of them.
Yeah, Denver and fucking the Chargers. This is I have it Chargers.
This is their division.
Yeah, I have it Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs. Or you can flip the last two or the first two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the first two. I mean, because either way, I think it's going to be a slugfest. But who's going to come out on top?
It'll come down to those division games.
Both teams are going to be really good. Both defenses are going to be really good.
Really good.
Barring or whatever, if anybody gets hurt and whatnot, or underperforming, both teams are going to come out swinging. I expect both teams to definitely win more than 10 games.
Yeah. All right. So what did the Denver Broncos do?
I like their draft. I think they definitely had a good draft for sure. So their first pick, the second round, pick 32, they took a linebacker, Nick Bonito, out of Oklahoma. He's projected as a plus starter.
All right.
In 4 years at Oklahoma, he had 118 tackles, 19 and a half sacks. You got to figure they drafted Von Miller. We've seen what Von Miller was. I'm not saying this kid will become Von Miller.
No, but they just want a solid starter.
That's the kind of player that they're adding to the defense to really try to like lock down that defense and really make that defense.
It's even more of what it was from last year. The defense was pretty good last year. Teddy had injuries. Got hurt. But they got their guy now.
Yeah.
Who can run an offense? Their run game was decent last year. It's just a passing game.
Yeah.
So I think they've excuse me, I'm sorry. They've addressed that issue already at quarterback. So now it's just let's bolster. You know what I mean? Let's get more ballers out here.
Yeah, it might take this kid a year or two to get his feet underneath him, but I think he's definitely going to be a good starter in this league. Whether he stays with Denver for the long term or whatever. But he should definitely help improve that run defense from day one. They gave up 111 yards a game last year. For a good defense, and you're competing in that division,
yeah,
that's
you need
not
it.
going to work.
Yeah, you need that.
You got to bring that down to at least 100, 95-ish. But so their next pick in the third round, pick 16, was a tight end, Greg Dulcich out of UCLA. He's projected as an average starter. He had some good numbers over the 4 years at UCLA. He had over 1,000 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns, almost 100 receptions. He's going to be the guy that's going to replace Noah Fant in the deal that they made with Seattle for Russell Wilson. And he looks like a solid tight end. Give him a few years to develop. 2 years or so, and I think in that offense with Russell Wilson should be just fine. Their next pick in the fourth round, they're Damari Mathis, defensive back out of Pittsburgh. Just a depth piece, backup for special teams. But, in this division, with all the weapons that are out there, you need all the help you can get, whether it be at the back end, in the secondary, up front at the line.
Well, I think they're very comfortable of what they got. That's why they went more defense.
Yeah. And that's why I really like it, because when you look at that guy, the first guy I mentioned that had 19 and a half sacks, and then when I talk about the next guy that I'm going to bring up, I like what they're doing because it's like I said, they've drafted Von Miller. They had Von Miller. We've seen what Von Miller did in Denver. Not saying either one of these guys will be that, but I feel it's the same kind of vibe with drafting those two guys. Like they're trying to see if they can find like a diamond in the rough, maybe develop him, give him an extra trade,
or just a solid player that's going to contribute,
or better than solid. But this last guy, fourth round, was Ioma Uzurki, I think, defensive end out of Iowa. He's projected to be a good backup, but I think he could develop into a good starter. In 5 years at Iowa, he had almost 150 tackles, 15 sacks. A good depth piece, but I feel like I said, with him or that first guy.
I have a feeling.
potentially
I have a feeling that draft pick is for depth, and hopefully he develops into a
Yeah.
player. So now it makes it harder to guard their defensive line because you have so many guys to have to pay attention to.
Yep.
Or where he can feed off a double from somebody else, or somebody else can feed off a double of him,
And you're rotating so many guys and moving guys around because
and
they're so
keeping fresh.
versatile. It's like you got to always keep your eyes on the swivel because they're moving guys from both sides all over the place.
Yeah, and they're bringing guys in and out constantly. So it's not like, all right, well, I know these guys are on the field. They're running out of this package or they're in this formation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you guys got, if you got depth, we constantly, like Dallas has had good depth at D-line. A couple years ago, we were really deep. They weren't all great players, but we were just deep where we had solid rotation guys.
Yeah. I gave him a B plus, because I like the two middle guys. The tight end, no big deal,
But they had to do that.
No, I get that. But the first two guys, I'm gonna keep an eye on them because they could be one of them at least could be a diamond in the rough, and I like those two picks. So
Shine bright like a diamond. All right, so we're gonna move on to hate it or love it. The underdogs on top. I'm gonna shine on it was all stop. All right, Danny. Hate it or love it. No more trash talking in sports.
No more trash talking in sports.
I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about players trash talking each other in game.
Right. I kind of want to love it in a way because you're there to play a game. Like, just shut up, do your job, play the game. But I like the trash talking, like all the stories we've heard about fucking offensive linemen fucking join and with defense, like, and being on a court and just to try to get that little extra edge to fuck with a guy. I like that. So I'm gonna hate it.
All right, you fucking better.
But
You fucking better. You fucking better.
but,
I can't believe you fucking said you were like, I'd like to love it. Excuse fucking me?
because, I mean, nothing. You're there to play a game. Shut
Yes,
the fuck
yeah,
up.
I am there to play a game. I am there to play a game.
In that sense.
Yes, and any sport, it's usually anywhere from 70 to 90% mental to 20 to 30% physical, right? I know how to aggravate you, or I want to find out how to aggravate you. You may be a guy that rolls off you, so it doesn't matter. So I may be wasting my time.
Yeah.
Or you could be sensitive. And I'm trotting around the base, or I'm dribbling up court, or I'm backing up while you're coming up, or we're on the line together. What up, dickhead? What'd you call me? I called you dickhead. Dickhead. Well, I'm about to fuck you up on this play. Or, a guy gets a squibbler hit right up the first base line, right? And he just beats it out, right? You know what I mean? Couldn't hit it any harder, pussy. Are you scared? You know what I mean? Or in basketball, guy drives the lane, right? But he doesn't want to hawk it, so he goes around and fucking, he does that. You know what I mean?
And just tosses it up, yeah.
You fucking scared? Old boy's soft over here. He don't want to come at me. He had to do the little, oh no. I'm sorry. It's a vital piece of sports.
Yeah.
Granted, it can go too far, and there needs to be a line drawn.
Yeah.
Right.
And more consistency with disciplinary actions.
100%.
Because they're quicker to pull a trigger on other things, but.
I mean, for the longest, the NFL. Well, I would say I'm going to start off. For the longest, baseball had figured it out from the color barrier being broken, and then years after, they had gotten it down to where it was like, all right, we ain't got people out here screaming racial obscenities like the whole park and stuff like that, and to that extent, excuse me again, we've gotten to a point where it's just trash talking, fans. I don't agree with throwing shit at fans.
No.
You never throw anything at I don't agree. You don't throw anything at a player. You could chirp your shit.
Nothing on the field, nothing
Yeah.
like that.
You could chirp your shit. That's fine. Oh, you suck. Ah, fuck you. You know what I mean? He's a professional. He makes godly amounts of money. If a fan's really insulting you, you need to check yourself. You know what I mean? This guy, he bought $30 seats. This is the first time he's been to a game in like 4 fucking years. Yeah, I mean, he lives in a fucking Upper East Side apartment paying over rent. He's fucking working every day.
Plus, yeah.
Let him get his shit out. He needs to get his shit out too. You know what I mean?
He's having a couple. He's letting loose. You know.
There's a give and take.
Yeah.
Right. But like you said, there needs to be a line, and they need to meet expectations of punishment. The NFL did a good job. All right, so flag, a suspension, and a fine for any racial slur or any obscenity that is over the top that a referee may deem. Once they put that in, do we even see that as a flag? You don't see it anymore. They fixed the problem.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure, you know, you know, the NFL seems to be the only league where it's like they've kind of like made that like that push like towards, you know.
No, they were
to draw that line.
They were very transparent.
Yeah.
There was no, I don't know, no. Here it is.
The NBA and baseball, they're a little behind on it.
I don't
They
even
are.
think. Yeah, I would say baseball's the farthest behind. The NBA, yes, their players have a voice, and I mean, barring outside of Kevin Garnett calling Carmelo Anthony a Honey Nut Cheerio, I haven't heard anything of race, you know, obscenities or slurs in basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard, you know, Donovan Mitchell get up on the podium after the game and be like, yeah, he called me or you know, whatever, Bogdanovich gets on, you know, camera and he's like, oh, yeah, LeBron James called me a cracker. You know what I mean? Like, you never see that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's been glorious, like, high level trash talking in basketball, man. Where, you know, Michael Jordan's trash talk, or Larry Bird's trash talk, where it's like, all right, listen, fuckers, I'm gonna dribble twice to my right, cross over to my left, jab step, and pop you with it. You know what I mean? And then the motherfucker, you know what I mean? or like Jordan saying to Kobe in, like, I think his second year or something like that, whatever, and like Kobe was wearing Jordans. He was like, yo, you can wear them, but you never fill them shoes, dude. They said Kobe didn't talk to nobody for like a week.
Yeah,
I mean, so like that type of trash talk is all in good fun and part of the game. You know what I mean? I feel a sense if they take trash talk out of the game and all those engagements of, like, you know, the players getting face to face and arguing, you know, it's a passionate, intense moment. You know what I mean? Especially when there's something on the line, such as playoff spots, or, you know what I mean? That just intensifies it. I feel as if you take that away from the game will, in a sense, become monotone. Like you're just watching a game. And I want to see these guys get paid millions of dollars. I want to see these guys get fucking juiced. You know what I mean? They're fucking
I want to see them get riled up.
Yeah, man. I want to see the passion. I want to see the love. I want to see the competition. I feel as if removing that, you're removing the heart of the game.
Yeah, in a sense that, yeah.
All right. What's your hater to love it, sir?
So I seen this and I hate it because I just wouldn't want to see it happen. But you're a Bulls fan, so, and I seen you tweet about it after I read it, so I knew you had read it. Zach LaVine to the Lakers.
All right. For some context on the article that me and Danny had read, this is LeVar Ball, in his opinion, that he doesn't like playing second fiddle to DeMar DeRozan and is unhappy in Chicago and wants to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not arguing if he doesn't want to play second fiddle. Okay? Now, if he doesn't, he doesn't. That's okay. You want to be the star, you want to be the star. Then why would going to the Lakers be any different? It'd probably be fucking worse. especially if they keep Davis, Westbrook, and LeBron.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, what I think is gonna happen, and this is why I love it, is because I'll take Russ. I'll take Russ. I'll take Russ with DeMar DeRozan, and Russ stays healthy.
Yeah.
And I think all around, better ball player. Maybe not as good as a shooter, just probably just the same as driving. Defensively, probably same level. But everything else, I think Russ is better at. Probably distributing and rebounding and just intensity of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for
Game
God's
knowledge.
yeah, game knowledge. For God's sakes, he's a point guard that averages a triple double. Like good fuck.
Right.
Now, barring his year with the Lakers, I knew as soon as he went to the Lakers, I said bye bye triple double numbers. But when he went to Washington, he was loved in Washington. He played very well with Beal. Bradley Beal and that team, and he was still doing like once he got traded there, right? They were a playoff team. They went to the playoffs that year that he was on the team. Now they didn't go far, but they went to the playoffs.
Right.
So if the Bulls have a lineup like we already do, where we went to the playoffs, where we lacked a piece, you know what I mean, and more depth and playmakers to compete with Milwaukee, but that helps immensely. Now you have now you have LaMelo, Russ, DeMar, Caruso. Well, you're probably gonna trade one of them. You're probably gonna honestly, I could see them moving on from LaMelo too.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I can see that trade. I could see Russ going to the Bulls, LaMelo, and Levine to Lakers. I think honestly it works out for everybody.
Yeah, but it's just not a move that I'm particularly crazy about.
No, but you should though. You know why?
Why?
LaMelo goes back to LA. Okay. You liked LaMelo. He had a fantastic year, barring his injury.
I mean, he's better than his brother that we drafted, but
no, that's the brother.
LaMelo, that's not the one that.
Oh, not LaMelo. I apologize. What is his name? Lonzo.
Yeah, Lonzo. Right.
Lonzo
right.
Ball. So you get Lonzo again.
Ah.
Right, but you get Levine. Two young guys. Not gonna be. I mean.
I'm just not a fan of that move. Like,
Well, I mean,
I can't think of a move that I'd prefer them to do. But honestly, no, wait, it just clicked in my head. Yeah, stay put, clean house, rebuild. Jeannie, come on, girl. Let's get to business here. Come on.
All right,
Gotta pick up another one soon.
Well, especially if Boston walks away with one this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Hate it or love it, Danny. Tiger Woods needs to walk away from golf.
Yes, I love it.
It's time to hang it up.
Yeah.
It's time to hang up. You're not healthy enough. You're not young enough. Your body's just not responding well to this.
Yeah.
If you want to go play in the seniors, go right ahead. I think that would be a little bit more your speed.
Right.
You know what I mean? But first he needs to get healthy. You mean?
Even if he's healthy, how good is he even really?
A healthy Tiger Woods is better than probably half the golfers out there. And I'm talking about bottom half that don't make the cut. You know what I mean? He's probably gonna go down as top 3 or the greatest golfer ever. There's only one golfer or 2-3 golfers that can compete with that.
Yeah.
And one of them is Arnold Palmer. Arnold Palmer knew when to walk away and go to the seniors. He had his achievements in seniors. I mean, you're just like Arnold Palmer. You're one of the most decorated golfers of all time.
Yeah.
Minus the fact that Tiger had all those scandals and shit like that. Which, to us doesn't... I don't really care, neither here nor there.
About that.
Now, all the...
care about what you did on the court on the field.
Now, he has had a couple car accidents that have led to injuries, which I think has affected his health. So I love it as well. I think he needs to walk away for a time, do what he needs to do to get healthy, and then come back and come back as a senior. Start your career as a senior, unless there's an age gap or whatever. Then wait it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then go to it.
Or just fucking retire and sail off into the sunset, bro.
Nah, but see, like
Call
that.
it.
But that's why I asked it because. Well, all right, then I gotta rephrase the hate it or love it. Tiger Woods needs to retire from the pro golfing scene, right? Or the
I mean,
like
you don't have to reword it, but I mean,
But
you love it in a sense, but you think he should go do senior. I
yes,
like it, but bro, just fucking retire. Just bye.
but obviously I don't think he wants to retire because he keeps trying to push it and come back.
Well, then do your own thing, bro. But
But it's not working well. I think as at least the senior they don't do half. I gotta look. We'll look into it, but I don't think they do half as many tournaments, and it's a little. It's different. I mean, it's for seniors. You know what I mean? So get
yeah,
yourself in shape. Not in shape. Get yourself healthy. So where you don't have to put this wear and tear on your body for training and prep. You know what I mean? Like that. You could take it easy. You're a great golfer. I imagine if when you're healthy and feeling good, and you're out there to just play serious by yourself, you probably do pretty fucking well. And you're not killing yourself.
you'll definitely do better than the average Joe. That's for sure.
Or one of them seniors. You'll probably clean the fuck up, like
Maybe.
like Arnold Palmer did. You know what I mean? Or a bunch of these guys.
Right.
All right, you're on deck.
All right. So, hate it or love it, with the injury to Scherzer, McGill, and still waiting for DeGrom to come back, the Mets should trade for German Marquez.
Herman.
Herman, whatever. Sorry.
The only reason why I know that is because he's on my team.
I know.
Um, if they'll do it, yeah, do it. I love it.
He's only 27 years old. I think he would be a good solid addition to that Met rotation. Especially when you get Scherzer back, Tyler back, DeGrom back. You could probably move somebody to the bullpen. So
I love it.
I love it too.
Like I said, if they'll move him,
Yeah.
Colorado's never been opposed to moving guys, as we can naturally see. We are the league's. We're
You hold on to them for as long as possible.
no. That's horseshit, and I'll tell you why.
Well, I mean, you still got Charlie Black. I mean, look at how long it took you before you guys.
Doug, I would have moved on from Charlie Blackmon way before LeMahieu, way before Ornato.
Seeing they held on to him, but yeah, I don't know.
We held on to Carlos Gonzalez Jr., right? But we held on too long.
Yes.
We held on too long. And just like Charlie, we're holding on too long.
Same thing with Tula. If you had traded him a year or two prior, you would have maxed out more on what you got.
Exactly. So like those guys that become icons for us, we hold on too long. And it's like, guys, we've had crazy lineups in the past decade. So all right, so Story, LeMahieu, Ian Desmond, Nolan Ornato, Charlie Blackmon, I think if I'm not mistaken,
You also have Ryan McCann too.
Ryan McCann. Like, what are we doing? So I love it. I hope he goes there. I want to see him win.
Right.
I mean, he's a great pitcher. Probably.
Well,
he's
a really good pitcher, I think.
If he's on and he a couple years ago he had a really he put together a couple solid good years where he was in the top 10
The only
pitchers.
thing that sucks is that he's in Colorado, so that makes him not so appealing because they're like, all right, well, you pitched half your games in Colorado, so
Okay, but now what about this? He also has he has bigger upside than most pitchers do, and I'll explain it to you just like I explained it to my wife the other day. You said the other day, why does Colorado not have a dome?
well, come on, Dick. That's my next hitter. I love it.
All right. You didn't have to tell everybody.
Well, I mean,
you could have just went along with it.
Start talking about it, fucking, you're gonna.
All right, I'll move on to my hater alone. Stephen Curry retires.
You can continue that when I get to mine.
Yes, all right. So Stephen Curry retires in 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
I hate it. Well, I love it because, I mean, I'm kind of tired of seeing him already, but, I mean, I don't think he'll be done in 3 years, so I hate it.
I think barring if he wins this year and he wins another year, I think he's gonna call it quits. All right, so go ahead. Which you fucking hate it or love it.
All right, hate it or love it. Coors Field should have had a retractable roof because where they play in April and May, it's like you lose games to fucking snow in the middle of May.
I hate it.
Like what the fuck?
I fucking hate it. And I'll tell you why, and it'll fit into what I'm saying about Herman Marquez. His upside going anywhere. April, May, their area is cold, right? So was Milwaukee. Well, is Milwaukee a dome? I believe so. It is a dome. I believe it is. All right, so whatever.
I have to double check it.
Baseball is predominantly played in the spring, warm to hot weather, right? Where the World Series converts to just about to get fucking shitbrick cold for society, not me, but in cold weather, he could play as he plays when he's in warm weather. So, if he actually gets onto a playoff team, right, and say you guys got to play San Francisco in the first round, right, and it's September, right?
Yeah.
San Francisco, I've been to San Francisco. San Francisco gets cold. It goes down to about 40 degrees. You think he's gonna be phased by the 40 degrees?
Probably not.
There you go. Whereas another guy would probably be affected.
Yeah. Yeah, where Milwaukee plays, they do have a retractable roof.
Okay, so it's retractable. So it's open and not. I mean, so they could withstand snow. But they have heaters in there, so it's probably decent.
And the early cold in April and May when the season starts, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I like it, and that's what gives us an advantage as well. Yes, you know the air thickness and everything like that.
That I don't mind, but just the snow.
Yes. So yeah, we may this is probably we probably have to postpone a game or two because of snow, right? Yes.
You know how many times the Mets and Rockies got postponed over the last couple of years because of fucking snow in April and May?
Yes. Well, see, that should tell the MLB, hey, stop fucking scheduling that. Then.
Well, I mean, they have to play home games in April and May.
Yes, I get it, but they should have adjustable schedules where it's all right. It's a snow day in there in that realm, but that's the upside to Marquez. He can pitch in any weather, any condition. Hot, cold, air thick, air thin.
Yeah. No, I get that, but it's like, damn, it's like...
And you know, from pitching... All right, so out of 82 home games they have, right? Or 81 home games they have.
Yeah, but see...
Wait a minute. Out of the 81 home games they have, he pitches what? 20 of them?
Give it...
15?
12 or 15.
12 to 15 games, right? That's 12 to 15 games in thin air. So a lot of home runs are given up, right?
Yeah.
Put him on the Mets where he's pitching in thick air 12 to 15 times a year. You're going to get better production. You should.
Here's why it just clicked to me. Here's why it still works with a retractable roof. Because you have it open in April and May when the season starts. So if you have, if it's just steady 30, 40 degrees or whatever it is for the first month, fine. Keep it open as long as there's no snow. If you know there's snow in the forecast for a game, you close it. And if the snow comes, you leave it closed. You can still play the game.
Just do what fucking Green Bay does. Make the field heated underneath. So any snow that gets on it, turn on the fucking heaters. Melted.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm sorry, I'm not down for that, because then it'll be a temperature-regulated building.
Yeah, but you're only going to be close.
No. For Colorado, as bad as we are, we need any advantage we can get. So if it's going to be frigid fucking cold, you got to fucking deal with it. Stop being a pussy.
For the first, it's only
Stop being a pussy.
The first 2 months of the season.
Bullshit. Not my problem. Your problem. I live here. I play here. This is how it goes. You don't like it? Lose and go home somewhere else. Go somewhere else.
All right.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate it. That's the only advantage we get, and you want to take it away from us? Fuck you. No, not going down. Hate it or love it, Danny. Deshaun Watson doesn't play this year.
I hate it because I want him to. That's it. If he doesn't play this year, it's another year down the drain. And that's just it.
I'll tell you why I love it. And why I hate it. Why I love it. Because that's Baker's chance to go, ha ha. And I do want to see him play. Because, enough's enough. Either charge the guy with something. He's not been charged with anything. Either suspend him. Stop playing the game. Let's get to the fucking point here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, you're up.
Alright, hate it or love it. NBA or I don't really have for some reason I don't have the problem with it for football, or I guess you could implement it towards, like, for example, like maybe like the championship games, but in general, playoff games on the weekends should be earlier than 8:30. Like 5:30, 6:30, or 6:45.
I do. Shit, it's
I'm
finicky.
not saying I ultimately hate it, but I mean, I'm not exactly opposed to it. I mean, either way, for the most part, people are still gonna watch it. So what the fuck?
Yeah, like, so I don't like on the weekends. I don't find a problem with it. So I hate it. I mean,
and how many people are gonna watch a game from their phone while they're out if they're doing something?
yeah, but you're not really watching. You're so much as in like game casting or just checking score.
Yeah, but you're still in a sense watching it, but you're just keeping it on the phone so you can have it there so you can check. Okay, they're still up. But it's still technically a view that they consider it a view. But
Yeah, but look, if you want to watch the game, and majority of their ratings come at those prime time hours, so they're making their money anyway. And what'll happen is, and it's happened before in certain sports or certain things, you're so used to something being at a certain time, right?
Right.
Then say, you go to turn it on at that usual time and the fucking game's halfway through. You're like, motherfucker, yo, I was trying to watch the fucking game. Why the fuck did they change the time?
And now it's like, well, and now, like, what time is like, well, now what the fuck am I supposed to sit here and watch it this time now?
Exactly. And we're human beings, we're creatures of habit. Guaranteed all the people above, 60 are like, what the fuck?
They kept it like, why they gotta fucking always change shit?
Exactly.
God damn it. This isn't music.
You got too many browsers open, buddy. Alright, last one. Hate it or love it. Is it? Are you done? Or
I have one more.
okay, so after yours, this is my last one. MLB adds 2 expansion teams.
How many do you think?
2. I said MLB to add 2 expansion teams.
Oh, 2. All right. I love it. I mean, well, I can't really think of a way or a reason why I would hate it. I mean, it's just 2 more teams.
Yeah,
so.
but I hate that certain divisions are bigger than others.
Okay.
So I want, yeah, I mean, I want everything even. That bugs the fuck out of me. Like, why are there only 4 teams in this fucking division? There's 5 in another. You know what I mean? Everybody should have the same amount, because then it's almost like an advantage. Like, oh, it's one less team to compete with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree. Yeah, I hear that.
Alright, let me have it, Pope.
So this one comes from my brother. I was talking to him the other day, and I told him that I was going to use this because I thought about it, and I was like, yo, yeah, even if I was a voter, he would get my vote. Hate it or love it, Bo Jackson is a Hall of Famer.
Shit. That's fucking hard.
I mean, I have his football stats and his baseball stats, but
It's not even about the stats. It's about the time frame and how long he played, and he didn't play very long in either sport.
and that's where the debate really came from because that's where he got it from. He had heard something that he didn't play that long, so is he really a Hall of Famer?
I
I think he is.
I would say I hate it if it was baseball. I love it if it's football because he kind of like, in a way, changed the game the way that football looked at running backs.
Yeah.
You know, running backs were thought to be these guys that, the max like 6 foot, this amount of pounds and this. He broke that structure. That's why we have Derrick Henrys, and that's why we had these big backs that we have. Well, big backs with that much athleticism and speed is what I'm trying to say. Because we've had big backs before in the league, but to his caliber and his play style, we haven't had many. Eric Dickerson's one, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so he's in that conversation. Now, I wouldn't be mad if he never gets in either, just because of the longevity issue. But if he's in the Football Hall of Fame, I wouldn't be mad. Fucking shouts out to Bo.
Right. I mean, like I said, he gets my vote, but I mean, he played for the Raiders for 3 years, and he only rushed for just under 3,000 yards, only 18 touchdowns.
It's not much there, bro.
And as far as baseball goes,
it's one of those things where it's like
batted 250, hit 141 home runs, and drove in 415 RBIs.
Yeah, see, like
with the Royals from 86 to 90, the White Sox 91, 93, and then the Angels in 94, and that was it.
It's not enough production within the time frame he played to be considered a Hall of Famer. Now, if there was a special class of Hall of Famers, not as in Hall of Famers of one particular sport, as in two-way players, two-way sport players, he's 100% a Hall of Famer.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's one of the only guys to really do it and do it at a high level. Now, granted, the stats don't say it as in career-wise, but if you go back to individual games and shit, you'll probably see anomalies where he's the outlier, the one that is producing.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that fucking Monday night run from Bo Jackson where he ran 99 yards. He ran out of the fucking... He literally ran down the tunnel. My man's was gone. Excuse me. So, I love it and I hate it. It's never supposed to be like that because it's a love it or hate it.
Yeah.
This is one of them ones that's, I hate it if it's baseball because baseball is supposed to be, for playing for a certain amount of time, you're supposed to have a certain amount of stats, and you don't have it. I love it if it's football because you were electric. You kind of changed the game in an aspect. You made the running back position more open to different body types and different, skills.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't get in, I'm not upset. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Bo's the fucking man, though. Hands down, Bo's the fucking man.
Bo is Bo.
But yeah, Bo knows.
Yeah.
But Bo knows that Jimmy knows. Because Jimmy knows Bo. NBA basketball. I'm going to give you guys an update on the score. We are going to jump into MLB in a minute. Danny, if you want to take a break, go ahead.
Yeah, give me a second, actually.
No problem. I'm going to look up these scores for you guys. Oh, look, hockey. The Blues versus the Avalanche. We just got white people arguing, so I don't even know what's going on. Oh, commercial. That's fucking great. NBA basketball. You shitting me? NBA basketball. Jesus Christ, so you gotta talk to it like a fucking child. The fucking game didn't even start yet. So what did you guys think of the Hate It or Love It this week? Let us know, get involved with us, man. Come in here, talk in the chat, talk your shit, whatever you want, you know what I mean? Shout us out on Twitter, tell us what you think. Tell us where we can improve at, and get involved in these segments with us, because if you send us your hated to love it or your top fives, we'll discuss it. We'll get into it. We want to interact with you guys. We do have 2 segments coming, which I think you guys will really enjoy. It's not coming until about 2 weeks from now. Next week we will not be on the air. Me and Danny have some off the field issues we have to deal with. But we'll be back at you in 2 weeks. So remember that, catch up on the episodes you missed before. Send us your tweets. Get ready for the episode in 2 weeks, because we're unleashing, I believe, 1 to 2 new segments. Like I said, which I think you guys will really enjoy and you guys will really want to get involved in, Twitter wise and the show wise. Should I release it to you guys? Maybe. Let's see. Do I have it here? Or is it in here? No, it's not in there. Okay. Here it is. I want you guys seeing it now. Alright, so I'm going to save the goodie. I'm going to give you guys the second segment, which is good. It'll lead into other days of us streaming where we'll work it out. But the new segment that we're adding in about 2 weeks is called Dream Team versus Dream Team, and it'll go out through the MLB, the NBA, and the NFL. Now, we're gonna go through these dream teams ourselves. Then we're gonna go on 2K, Major League, MLB, the show, and Madden.
And try to recreate that.
And we're going to recreate these teams as best we can. No high ranking, all 60s and 70s. And we're going to let the game sim itself out. And we'll see which dream team was better
than
the dream team.
And we'll be putting the brackets up on Twitter, so let us...
Shush.
What?
Shush. I know you weren't here. I only told them 1 segment. I saved the one you're talking about. I just told them about Dream Team versus Dream Team.
I didn't know, because
I know.
So,
Just let it go.
Y'all gonna wait for that one.
Exactly.
Right.
So let it go.
Because I didn't know what you were talking about when I walked away. So.
Well, I went to give them the score of the fucking game. The game wasn't even fucking on. So I was like, we got 2 segments coming at you in 2 weeks. I let them know we won't be here next week for off the field issues.
Right.
And I said we have 2 segments coming. I'm like, should I tell you guys or should I not? I'm like, I'll tell you one of them, just one.
All right.
I said I'm gonna save this one because this one's a goodie, and they're both goodies. But the first, you know what I mean. So I just told them Dream Team versus Dream Team Simulator.
All right.
Now, like I said, when we want you guys to get more involved, we want you guys to make your own dream teams. Send them to us on our Twitters or the D&D Sportcats page. We'll do it for you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Put it up against one of ours. Later down the road, we may have this segment where it's put your dream team up against ours. If your dream team wins, you win a gift card.
We can definitely do that for sure.
You know what I mean?
100%.
All right, Danny, hit us with them MLB standings, sir.
All right, so there are games going on tonight, obviously. In the American League, the Twins, they're in first. American League Central, they're 27-17. They got a 5-game lead on the White Sox.
Wow, the last I'm looking at the standings from our last episode, and I wanted to do this for a comparison.
Okay.
They're 27-17. They're 6 out of their last 7.
Nice. The Twinkies are playing well.
Remember we talked about it earlier? We thought it was going to be like a year, maybe 2 before they blah.
Yeah.
Right now they're looking like we here.
Yeah.
Like we're here.
We'll see White Sox see if they got any fight in them. So in the American League Central, the Yankees are in first. They're 30-13. They were the first team with 30 wins. God damn it. They got a 4.5 game lead. Yeah, I know.
Wait, what was it? So they're 30 and what?
30-13. They got a 4.5 game lead over the Rays, but they're getting ready to start a 4-game set with them this weekend.
They've lost 4 out of 5.
Not even that, but also today's Wednesday. come Monday morning, the Yankees could be only a half a game up in first.
Oh yeah, because Toronto Blue Jays and
Well,
the
no,
Tampa.
not even that. But they're like I said, they're about ready to start a 4-game set going up against Tampa this weekend.
And
So,
if they don't have Giancarlo and LeMahieu,
Giancarlo's going to be out for a little while. LeMahieu's out definitely because he's got the sore wrist, supposedly. MRIs came back clean, they said.
don't
But
be a dick.
hey, well,
Don't be a dick.
if the doctors say you could play, then I'm not going to say that he's
Look,
not feeling.
the MRI can come up clear for no injury, no strain, no tear, no nothing like that. But the muscles still could be sore. And the only person that knows their body as good as DJ LeMahieu
Granted,
is DJ LeMahieu.
and I get that, but we've seen
But
players.
but DJ LeMahieu is no fucking Ben Simmons. Don't you dare
I'm
say that.
Just saying.
Don't you fucking dare. Don't you
Well,
fucking
I'm getting
Danny,
there 'cause I'm
Danny,
just saying.
don't you fucking dare. Right?
I'm
I
just gonna-
swear to
And
what is
I'm gonna swear to Dan to just leave that up there as an alley oop. Like, well, I'm not gonna exactly start this or stir the pot, but there you go. You can.
No, there's no fucking way. He played all last year injured and was the best contact hitter probably in the American League and the best hitter on the Yankees.
Yes.
And he played the whole year injured. So now he had time to have to rest. The MRIs are clear. He's sore. Give him time. All right, so where's Tampa Bay at?
So they're in second. They're 4.5 out. The American League West, the Astros, they're in first. They're 28-16. They got a 1-game lead over the Angels.
Yeah, the Angels are for real this year.
So far, they're 27-17. They look good. The Yankees are gonna have to play the Angels, I think, after that Tampa Bay series. So it's.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Because, this is the wrong time.
They're skidding right now, so yeah, this is a bad time.
It's the wrong time for this stretch of games to come up. The wrong time, especially Stanton to get hurt. Especially, oh God, and we called it. And
they're already missing some other pieces in the bullpen and stuff too. So.
Yep, with Tommy John surgery with Chad Green.
Yeah.
That's a big piece gone. And what did I say? We were talking about it last night. I said I was gonna withdraw my comments. Right? But I'm not. And the reason why I'm not is the first game against the Orioles, I had it on the TV. Me and my wife are sitting there. I changed channel. Why you do that? I want to watch that. Why are we going to watch the New York Yankees versus the Baltimore Orioles? That should be a Yankees all day. That's an easy dub. We'll come to find out the cocksuckers lost 6-4 and blew a lead.
And they almost lost last night too.
Exactly. They're lucky fucking Gleyber Torres actually had the game he had. If he didn't have the game he had, they'd lose that game.
Yeah, what he had? He definitely had
two shots.
Home runs.
And he had the win. I think he had the winning. No. He had the tie shot, and he had both home runs that tied it. I believe.
Yeah. So in the National League East, Mets are in first. They're 29-17. They got a 7.5 game lead over both Atlanta and Philly, and I think they're about to start a 3-game set with Washington.
That should be another 3-dub or a 2-dub.
Yeah, at least 2. That game last night was fucking insane, though, bro.
Oh my God, that was.
We were sitting here, and we were going over the notes for the show, and I had shut the game off because
8-2.
I'm like, you know what? Realistically, they're not gonna always come back from being down by that kind of a deficit, and I'm like, you know what? All right, this game's probably most likely done. Give it a take about an hour or so goes by, my phone, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is going on?
And all of a sudden, 11-8, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yo, I did shut it off, right? Yeah, I'm like, yeah. And then I put it back on, fucking Drew Smith gives up the fucking 3-run shot to fucking Jock Peterson, which was his 3rd home run of the night. I love you, Buck. You're a great coach. You're great for this team, but that was a bad call.
Bullshit. Last night you said attack him.
Yes, but I
thinking about it, what we talked about last night, you realized wrong move.
Prior to saying that last night, I was like, I don't know if they should because they.
Dude, after the 2nd home run, you're done.
I mean, look, I know what I said, but initially it's like, well, yeah, I like the idea to attack. Like, Buck's that, he's an old school manager.
Yes.
But I mean, I can understand walking him to not pitch to the guy, definitely. But I was like, you know what, fuck it. You know what, I agree what Buck's gonna do. You know what, attack him head on. But
Yeah, and where'd that get you?
maybe you should have used a different pitcher. Maybe you should have. I heard Gary, Keith, and Ron even talking about it a few weeks ago or something like, oh, eventually at some point, Edwin's gonna come in and get like a 5 or 6 out save. Why did you not have Edwin there in the 8th? Edwin should have been out there for the 8th and the 9th to hold that lead.
Not even to hold the lead.
I mean, I like Drew Smith, but you should have had Eddie out there.
I think Ottavino should have had the whole 8th. He shouldn't have been brought in once it was tied to close it out. He should have been brought in for the 8th to set up Edwin. No. He should have been out there for the second home run.
I mean, Eddie blew it regardless, but still, it's like I feel as though he should have been out there in the 8th.
It is what it is. You can't win them all, but like I said to you last night, hey, the motherfuckers are fighting, man.
Yo, they are.
It's not even like they're fighting; they're dog fighting.
Scratching everything.
And taking advantage of everything, and the hustle out of them is fantastic. That
just
play by
taking it bat is like, it's awesome just to watch them taking it bat. And even if they strike out, it's still like, yo, that was a good at bat though.
The infield hit by Escobar. You know what I mean? Great play. Then the infield hit to McNeil, fucking on the run, all onto his right side, gloves it and just gets the guy at first. Fucking fantastic play. I mean, they have energy. They're humble. They're hungry.
They want to win.
I mean, and it's like they're fighting.
And it's contagious throughout the whole team.
A lot of teams, they go down 8-2. They pretty much pack it in. All right, we'll get them tomorrow. No. We got 9 innings to this bitch, and we gonna play every fucking one.
Yeah.
And you have to grant Buck Showalters with that.
Right. I mean, they did lose 9-3 today, but they brought up a prospect, and that was his first major league start. He got shell shocked. They lost 9-3. And the Dodgers are in first in the West. They're 29-14. They got a game and a half lead over the Padres. But
all right, update on the Miami Heat game versus Boston Celtics. Boston's up 4-2 with 8:25 and counting. Boston has the ball. Horford up top, key passes left to Williams. Pass to Tatum. Tatum spins, goes inside, fouled at the bucket. He'll shoot 2. All right. So we're going to move on into one of these baseball topics that we have. And the first one I think we should dive into, Danny, is will Albert Pujols get 700 home runs this year?
yes.
What's he got?
He's got 683. He's 17 away.
17 away.
He's
He better start shelling them.
Well, from what I think you mentioned it, but from what I also heard too, I think they're only putting him in there in certain situations against certain lefties or, guys that don't throw as hard. And I'm like, I get it, but it's like.
But I mean, but that's smart. It's smart.
Yeah.
It really is smart. He's not the hitter he once was. Yes,
No,
he still has the.
After this year, so what if this is his last go around? So you want to maximize his bat, so you want to get him in there as much as possible. That's why you have the DH. He doesn't have to play.
Well, that's why if he doesn't get it this year, he'll get it in the years to come.
I mean,
and I don't think he's gonna stop until he gets it. He's so close. If he was at 650 and it was at this point, you know what I mean. And like say he finished the year with 7 home runs, it's like, dude, I'm gonna have to play another fucking 5 years to get this.
At least another 5 years to get close to that.
Yeah, I mean.
You'd be like, yo, I'm 17 away, bro.
Exactly. And the Cardinals have him, and I think they signed him for that reason. I think he was, 21 short of it.
Yeah, he's got 4 on the year so far.
Yeah, so they definitely did that, for their publicity as a team.
And I like that. They drafted him. He started his career there. Yeah, he played for the Angels for a while, but you know what? Albert needs to hit that 700 in St. Louis for the Cardinals.
Yeah, absolutely, and it would be amazing.
And watch it be a game winner.
Oh, like bottom 9th.
I'm not even a Cardinal fan, but that would be awesome.
Either I have money that it's either a game winner or it's a leadoff, or like his first at bat during the game, first inning, crank.
Or what if it's at the end of the year and it's his last at bat? for this year, and he hits the 17th, and that's it. And then he can retire officially. Which was better, that or the walk-off?
The walk-off.
You think so?
Yeah, the walk-off. Because then it's like, you know,
He won that game.
It's not only that he'll remember it, everybody else will remember it.
Well, they're gonna remember it regardless, for the most part. You know.
Yeah, but there's more like precedence of that moment. You know, we were down fucking 2 runs. You know what I mean? Last game of the season. You know what I mean? Alfred's up there and rah!
Yeah.
We win 5-4. All right, now the second part of this is Justin Verlander reached 300 wins before it's all said and done. Now this is a little bit harder than I would say than hitting the home runs.
It is. You know, he's currently got 232.
Yeah, because it's not like you're just pitching to pitch. You know, you got to pitch to win.
You know, he's already 40 years old, or like 38, 39. So, how much more does he really have in the tank?
Oh my God, Bam Adebayo with the putback, 7-6 Boston. Sorry.
And the way the league is now, you know, the way pitchers aren't going deep into games anymore, and you know the way the game has changed.
Yeah, it's different now. So I mean, he's in position to get it though.
He's close. He's the only one close.
How many is he out exactly?
He has 232, so he's 68 away.
68 away.
So you figure, and he's got 6 wins on the year this year. So you figure if he wins 10 more, okay, cool. He needs 58 then.
All right, well, barring how he finishes after this year, if he can go and win 11 games for the next 5 years, he could do it. But he needs 11 plus wins.
And he needs to be able to play and stay healthy for the next at least 4 to 5
years. So I mean, it's more likely Albert's gonna get that 700 before he does.
100%.
But now I think when it's starting to come down to like the end of his career, if Verlander is anywhere within the the bucket of 20 games, I think he'll give it a go for however long he has.
Or as long, yeah.
Like maybe he's
still pitching at a high level now.
Oh yeah. So I'm saying like I think for him these next 3 years matter. If he could put up 12 plus wins.
15, yeah.
Well, no, 12 plus wins. Let's say he does, 2 years, like this year 15, next year 15, and then the next year 12, right?
Right.
So that's...
So you figure that's 10, so you said 15 for this year, so that's 9 more, so that puts him at 241, and then you said 15 and 12.
So that's 27.
241 is
268. That's 32. Yeah, I think, but that's so hard.
It is.
It is so hard. But I think in 5, if he can do something like that, from year to year to year, I think it can be done. It's definitely way harder than Albert's fucking,
right.
his journey.
But I mean, also like, all right, with this, it's like the way the game's changed and the way the game is played and everything. Now it's like, once Verlander is done, whether he gets it or not, after him, will we ever see another pitcher win 300 games again?
See, now, originally I would have said yes, but then looking at Clayton Kershaw's career, no. Because Clayton Kershaw has been the best pitcher in baseball for, almost 10 years?
Well, arguably, I mean, when DeGrom really stepped onto the stage, it kind of like, you could really have an argument.
You can have an argument, but here's
and, don't forget Max Scherzer.
But here's what kills
Kershaw has definitely been.
Here's what kills any argument that's going to go against that. He's consistently done it, year in.
But he doesn't have as many wins as Verlander. I think Clayton Kershaw's only got like 177 wins or something like that.
But we got to think about the aspect in this too. When he started his career with the Dodgers, they were shit as hell.
I get that.
So that contributes. So if he had the team that he's had now for the past 4 or 5 years, and then apply that to his 5 years before that, I think he would be almost around the ballpark to Verlander.
All
right, so what is he at?
If it wants to give me the stats, that's fine. He's got 189, so 12 more than what I originally said at
All right, so
177.
189, right? If he had the team that
And
he had 5
84
years
rushes.
ago, he would probably be at like 230, 240.
And plus, he's hurt right now, and he's,
Exactly.
over the
So
last few years, he's had a few
a few
dings and
dings
stuff.
up. Yeah, so I don't see him coming close. He's probably gonna hang it up soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
So
honestly, I really don't think we'll ever see a 300 game winner outside or after.
we'll see a 300 game winner in the next 30 years, but it's only gonna be one guy. It's not gonna be a bunch of guys going for it. It's gonna be one guy.
Yeah, I agree.
It's gonna be
Definitely.
one guy, and that one guy in the next 30 years is probably gonna be a generational pitcher. Because right now, the Major League Baseball doesn't have that. Yeah, we're excited with Shohei Ohtani doing the two-way, DeGrom, Scherzer, and all these other guys. You know, Josiah Gray, who's come up, Clayton Kershaw, Verlander,
Corbin Burns,
Nestor Cortez. You know, all these other guys, right? That guy in the next 30 years is probably going to be incredible to the point we're going to be talking about him in the sense of probably one of the greatest of all time.
Consistent. He's gonna stay healthy. Everything.
Yep, everything's gonna click for this one guy. Now we don't know who it is. Oh, I'd love to know because I'd be putting my money on it right now.
It could definitely happen. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Back to the Future style. You know what I mean, I'm about to put $100,000 on this motherfucker. Wow, you know what I mean, let's get this dough, brother.
Yeah.
But I only see one guy in the next 30 years. That's if we're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but like in the years to pass, 30, 40 years, you had a bunch of guys racing to do it. You know what I mean? Now it's, excuse me, that's why I say it'll be just one guy.
Yeah.
Just be one guy.
And Verlander's that one guy right now that.
Yeah, but he's played in those generations where it was building. You know what I mean? Yeah. Figured it was gonna do that. A little technical difficulties on our side. We're gonna try to get that fixed as soon as we can. So now the next thing me and Danny we're gonna talk about. I'll go and sit. I fucking go and sit. Waiting for this fucking thing to load is like waiting for fucking Rice Krispie treats to fucking snap, crackle, pop. Fucking nice. Get your motor running. Well, the next thing me and Danny were going to talk about was now the playoffs for the MLB really hasn't changed much over the years. We've gone from a format. We're at a format where it's 2-3-2. The higher seed gets the first 2 games at home, then 3 games away, and then 2 games again back at home. So we're just gonna try to fix this right now for me and Danny, so we can launch into that. Well, shit, fire! I didn't even see that. Now, what we're trying to like debate about, as in from the 2-3-2, me and Danny. I think. I don't think Danny's so on board with it, but I think it should be changed to the basketball format, as in 2-2-1-1-1-1. always fucking something with our show. Always something. Sorry, guys. I actually think the Yankees are gonna fucking crumble right now, especially if John Crow stands out for a couple months, and all the injuries they have to their starting pitchers and bullpen. Yeah, that's just coming. Definitely coming. Now, granted, the Yankees have built a big enough lead, but like Danny said, they're only a couple of games up. They're in the wrong division to have this happen to them now. Especially if they lose tonight and then they go to Tampa and lose fucking 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 4. That's not good. Not good at all. Not the slightest at all. That's not good. Wrong division, wrong time for this to happen. Right now, Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics are tied 15 up. 2:37 left in the first quarter. Al Horford misses a free throw. Jimmy Butler's got the ball at the top of the key. Looking for a pass, directing the offense, pointing. Gives it to Robinson. Robinson, back to Jimmy. Back to Robinson. Oladipo's got the ball stolen. It's a 2v2 going up the court. Charge. Offensive foul on Boston. There you are, lad.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Did you have browsers open, sir?
No.
Okay.
No, it's weird. Skype be doing that sometimes.
It definitely do. It definitely do. Alright, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I opened up with basically moving on from that to the changing of the playoff format from 2-3-2 to 2-1-1-1. I gave them my opinion on it. If you want to update them on yours, I'll be right back.
So I like the 2-3-2. I've never had a problem with it as opposed when it comes to baseball. Me and DJ, we spoke about it last night, and I understand how it makes more sense. It gives more teams a chance. It gives the teams a chance more to, be able to have an extra home game. But I don't know. Either way, I don't care. I think both, in a sense, are fine or would be fine. I get, like you said last night, how the 2-2-1-1-1 makes sense, but either way.
Well, the way we talked about it last night was essentially, so you could be all right, after the wild card, it breaks itself down, right? The number 1 seed plays the winner of the wild card. Okay? So you get 2 games at home. Say you split. Now you got 3 games on the road. If that team catches fire and catches momentum, you may be looking at a 4-1 series, and you're done. And you didn't even get the advantage that you were rightfully deserved of being the first place team. So I think for that aspect, that has to change. It has to go to the 1-1-1. Because, you could split, get swept at their house, but you got a home game and another game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I think it should change. Now we're gonna move on to our segment, our new segment for baseball, where we're gonna be doing every now and then or every other week certain ball players from the past and a ball player from the future. Now our first one ever, it has to be it. It has to be Shohei versus the Babe.
Yeah,
Has to be Showtime versus Babe.
absolutely.
So Danny, you set it off because you have the finished career, you have the pedigree that needs to be reached, and what is it for Babe Ruth? What was his career like?
Well, he's a Hall of Famer, MVP one time.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it
One
was.
time.
It was funny that he finished in the top five and top six in MVP voting in back-to-back years, but those 2 years were at the back end of his career. He's got a batting title. He was a two-time All-Star, and again, like with the MVP, those two All-Star appearances came at the back end of his career. And you
So,
got to think,
but that makes me believe that the MVP system and the All Star system probably had just come out around that time. Because there's no way that he doesn't win MVP for the years he's on the Yankees, where he puts up the 60 some odd home runs, and he's not an All Star in those years. Like how can the person who's hitting the most home runs in the league not be an All Star?
well, I mean, he was consistently hitting 40, 50 home runs a year. He had 1 year where he hit 60, or
All
no,
right.
61.
So respectively, that number should be inflated because there's no way you have a guy hitting consecutively 40 home runs and pitching, right, and not being an All Star. I'm sorry, that's an outrage. And now I know the talent back then was fucking all over. There was so many talented guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
and that's even before integration.
you got to figure alone, just as a pitcher, he had 94 wins, a 2.28 ERA. He had fucking 107 complete games, 17 shutouts. I mean, shit, that's pretty fucking good. I mean, he wasn't consecutively pitching every single year, but I mean, when he did, he was good.
He was
You
good.
know,
I mean, he didn't throw the fastest.
he's got a 2-to-1 win ratio, and a sub 3 ERA, and he's got 107 complete games, 17 shutouts. I think he's good.
Well, you know what the funniest thing is? I remember years ago, before we started the show, we used to have this argument a lot. And this is way before Shohei. We
Yeah,
used to have the argument like, yo, he's the best player of all time for his productivity as a hitter, and then just for the simple fact that he pitched and played other positions.
yeah.
Right there, you're playing.
He played
You're
five
doing.
positions.
Yeah, you play 5 positions, and your two main positions factor into the way the game results. Right then and there, you gotta be the best. I know Ted Williams is probably the best hitter. We're talking about the best baseball player ever.
Yeah.
And I've noticed your opinion has changed.
With what?
Like on Babe as being the best player. Not the best hitter, not the best pitcher, but the best player to
What,
ever.
what do you mean changed?
I said years ago when we talked about it, you used to say, "No, Babe's not the best. Babe's not the
Well,
best.
yeah,
There's no way."
right. I mean, but I still, said, I mean, Babe was, like, I don't know, like, because Ted Williams, like, that's like, he's my favorite ball player. Like, I mean, I know like Mike Piazza's mine, but like, so that's kind of where it always came from. But like, I know Babe was great. I know Babe. But yeah, and in a way, after really diving into his stats a little bit and stuff like that, it's
I think the fact that this is what clouds our judgment a little bit. We didn't get to see him.
definitely.
I mean, we can look up highlights. Highlights are great, but to see it in the time era and in front of your face, that may have affected us a lot differently. We may have had a stronger opinion
Right.
or a lesser opinion on Babe. Like, yo, this guy's. I mean, for the fact of the matter is, you don't even have to follow baseball. You can bring up Babe Ruth, and the first thing they'll say is, they'll just point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As in terms of like being so great in the arrogance of you being so great, for you to call your shot in a hard sport to play like baseball, and then to fucking do it. That in itself is like a stamp or a plant in the flag. Like, dog, ain't nobody gonna be me. Like that. Like, I'm sorry, to me that's one of them. Like I said, plant your flag. Like, dog, this is my shit.
So like he's like the Jordan of baseball then. Greatest baseball player, the greatest basketball player,
Yeah,
in their own respective sport and right.
yeah, yes, yes. But now, like, we're having this conversation with Shohei. So, what stats did you go through? You went through his pitching, right?
I wrote a couple of his pitching stats down because it wasn't as enormous or bulky like like his hitting stats, which I got right here. I'll go over that real quick. So, his career WAR was 183.
Good God.
He had over 8,000 at bats. He had just under 3,000 hits. He was 127 shy of 3,000. 714 home runs, a 342 batting average, 2,100 runs, 2,200 RBIs, a 474 on base percentage, a 690 slugging, and a 1.164 OPS.
Good God. I'm sorry. Those are, like, as in terms of baseball, those are godly numbers.
Very.
Godly numbers. I mean, if he probably was a little bit better of a contact hitter, he probably would have had 3,000. Maybe slightly less home runs, but he'd have hit the 3,000.
Yeah. But
those are godly numbers. And it's, hitting wise, it's going to be hard for Ohtani to match that. It really is. It is. Especially home runs.
And the way the game is played and everything now, granted we have the universal DH, so that definitely helps, but I mean, you have his stats. We were talking about it the other night. He's 27 years old. If he plays another 10 to 13 years, averaging at least 30 home runs a year, that's still gonna have him about 100 or so away from the Babe.
But that, because it's our era and what we see, pitchers are throwing harder, they're craftier, they're better.
Phenomenal.
It would be phenomenal for him to have 600, to go like 280, 290. You know what I mean? The slugging at like 8. I mean, he'll be better in certain aspects, but not like to that effect that the Babe was.
He won't get nowhere near the hits. I don't think he'll have as many at bats. His WAR is definitely not going to be the same.
It'll be up there.
No way.
But it'll be up there, but it's not going to be near that.
Yeah.
It'll be up there, maybe like 100, because of the double aspect of the pitching.
Right.
So for Ohtani, he's got AL Rookie of the Year in 2018. 2021 AL MVP. One-time All-Star and a Silver Slugger. Now, he's played 5 years. He's been in the league 5 years. He's only played 4. Okay. He has a career WAR of 17 right now. All right. So his pitching, as of now, 16 wins, 17 losses. 3.41 ERA. He's played 42 games. We started, pitching 42 games. His inning pitch is 222. He has 275 strikeouts, and his WHIP is 1.14. So we know he's gonna destroy the strikeouts on Babe. He's probably gonna have significantly less walks.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's already almost half of what Babe has for, more than half of what Babe has for strikeouts.
Yeah.
So right, I think in that aspect, right there, that puts him as a better pitcher. Pitchers, a great pitcher strikes people out. A good pitcher can be crafty.
Yeah.
Get a ground out, get a double play, get a pop out. You know what I mean?
Work the corners.
So, I mean, the ERA probably is going to go down. Probably be 2.5 in that that general area. I think he'll get to 100 wins. So he'll have 100 plus wins. I think he'll be under 100 losses. I think he won't have as many as complete games.
No.
I mean, because Babe's top speed was like 82 miles an hour, so he's conserving the arm and wheeling and dealing, as where Otani had just added this year into his arsenal 101-mile fucking fastball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, now hitting. So he's played 467 games. He's had 1,572 at bats, 266 runs, 414 hits, 831 total bases, 81 doubles, 15 triples, 102 home runs, 275 RBIs, 203 walks, 26 times I believe he's been hit, 495 strikeouts, 61 stolen bases. He averages 263. His OBP is 350, slugging 529, OPS 8.879, and ground out fly out is 1.18. What is CS again? I forget that shit.
What is what?
CS. What does that stand for? I forget.
What stealing?
Oh, all right. So he was caught stealing 21 times. So it's hard to say. Yes, of this era, he is the Babe. Now he may not amount to the hitting wise. I think he'll supersede the pitching. And like I said, well, like you said, if he hits 25 plus home runs for a consistent amount of years,
Like right now at 27, over the next 4 years, if he goes out there and hits,
all right, if he can get to 200, 225
you got to
in the
figure
next 4 or 5 years, he's on pace. He's looking good.
because you figure the next 4 years, if he hits at least 40 home runs each year, that's putting him on pace to hit almost 200 home runs in the next four years.
Yeah.
So if he does that, that puts him over 3, and that puts him at 31 years old, and now you're chasing history.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
And he's got to stay healthy. And like I said, the game is changing. How much more is the game going to continue to change?
Exactly. Where it may get more beneficial to him, but right now, if the game stays the way it is right now, right, and all right, let's get off of him hitting 600.
He's not going to.
600 home runs. That's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
if he finishes with over 450, right, and the triples go up to about 100, doubles go about to about like 250, total bases goes to about maybe 3,000, the hits go up to about 1,500, maybe 2,000, RBIs 1,000, walks 1,000, hit by pitch probably. I mean, the strikeouts definitely over 1,500, but the stolen bases that'll probably go up to about 200. Caught stealing about maybe 80 times. The average should spike a little bit, nothing major. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe 275. Slugging goes up about 100, so 630. OPS goes up about 100, maybe about 1,000 OPS. If he could do that and then match the pitching, and just beat Babe on the pitching, for the modern day, the argument would probably be in Shohei's favor, just because people can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's really the only guy we can compare him to right now.
No, he not even right now. I think the way the pattern goes for baseball, you see a guy like this once every 100 years. Because that's all the proof we have on it.
I mean, Babe was around 100 years ago.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is the only proof we have of it. So
Right.
baseball has been around for 100 and some odd years. We've only seen one talent like that, and it was Babe.
Yep.
Now, Babe is obviously the better hitter, and that would contribute to his era he played in. Right?
Yeah.
Which is not Babe's fault. But to show Otani's fact, you're doing what Babe Ruth was doing at an even harder pace and level.
Right.
So, like we said, if he can get to that 400 or 500 home run mark, we know he's a better pitcher.
Yeah.
Just right now.
Well,
So, right now, the way it's showing itself. things can change, granted. So if he can get into that realm and pitch for at least a little longer than Babe and have better stats and meet those markers, then there's an argument to who's the best. Then there's an argument to who's the best baseball player to ever touch the Sandlot.
Because you'll have one guy that did what he did in the 1920s, but then you had one guy that did it like that, not as astronomical with the stats, but the same thing, but did it in a harder era.
A way harder era.
You know, so
all right. So if we were able to like reincarnate or recreate Babe Ruth to his exactness,
would Babe Ruth succeed now?
So if we did from 2000 to 2021, would it be the same?
Would Babe's stats have been the same? Oh.
That's a big thing. But now here's the thing. This is how it works forward and backwards. Because we could put Shohei Ohtani in 1930,
and I think he'll succeed.
Not even succeed. He'll probably outdo the Babe. He'll probably outdo the Babe. In all seriousness.
Maybe.
Come on, dude. Pitching, throwing 101 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour. His sinker's filthy. His slider's filthy. His curveball is fucking out of this world. And he hits fucking bombs.
Yeah.
And he's a better contact hitter than Babe was. And he steals bases.
He probably played well before the DH. He probably played better defense too. I mean, Babe wasn't a bad defender for his career.
No.
I mean, he wasn't no fucking shining star out there.
In no shape or form are we shitting on Babe Ruth. But for the fact of the matter is, Shohei Ohtani
nowadays Babe Ruth, so it had
yes. But for Shohei to have the argument that I am better, he has to meet those numbers.
Yeah.
If he doesn't meet those numbers, yes, you were the modern day Babe Ruth, but you weren't better than Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
To the standard that you had applied. Right now, so now say Shohei actually meets all those numbers. Well, then it's obvious because if we plug Babe into now, he didn't put up those numbers. We plug Shohei into then, those numbers double.
You should, yeah.
They probably blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You put a guy who's bigger, stronger, less weight, better pitcher, more athletic.
Yeah.
You put him in the 1920s to 1935. Everybody on the field is gonna look at him like, who put the robot on the field? This ain't fair. Who the fuck is this guy? Who? Nah, he not allowed here.
He don't eat hot dogs. He don't drink beer.
Nope.
Like the fuck?
Exactly. Now, granted, we have to factor that in as well. Just the gangster of Babe Ruth. Yeah, let me get 12 hot dogs and let me get 4 fucking deuces. You know what I mean? Like, in between innings, just fucking and then get up there like.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
There it goes.
I did it again. Yeah. Well, everybody in the front row gets hot dogs.
Oh, it must have been a joy watching him though as a kid growing up.
Oh, dude! Imagine just like sitting in that section, because what he used to do is he used to buy himself not 12 hot dogs. You know, that's a little bit of extent.
You know, probably 1 or 2, 2 or 3.
1 or 2, 2 or 3, right? And then buy the section hot dogs, and then buy himself 4 beers, which he would take into the dugout. So that's like what? So he buys a hot dog every couple, maybe he buys hot dogs twice a game, if that.
Maybe he gets one in the first, maybe he gets one in like the 4th, and then one in like the 7th.
Yeah, and then he's just sipping beer the whole game,
hitting home runs.
I mean, that's gangster and legendary within itself. Like,
yeah.
Like, babe, how'd you feel after that game? I don't even fucking remember. What you mean? I was so fucking drunk.
You hit 3 home runs though, babe. Cool.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That's great.
It's like the way that we talk about like Lawrence Taylor. That man was so high. After like some games, he would come into the locker room and he would still have his pads on. And he would turn to Carl Banks and be like, "You ready?" Carl would be like, "Fuck you mean you ready? We ready to go out there? We already won." LT, you had 2 picks and like 3 sacks. I don't even remember. You know what I mean? That's another level. So
Yeah.
I'll always put Babe above Shohei Ohtani on that of gangsterness. You know what I mean? The point, drinking, eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything.
Everything. And like, you know, the technology wasn't as good back then, so they didn't know what they were doing to their bodies. Babe was just, you know, he kept himself fit for his body style.
They were just playing ball.
They were playing ball.
I
So
mean, you gotta figure in the off season they had jobs, most of them.
yeah, most of them. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, like, we went over it last year, and I mean, not last year, but I mean, we went over it last night. Now, let me see if I saved it. I don't know if I saved it, but yeah, like we looked at fucking the salary for Babe Ruth every year. It was like, it was. I remember 1900. It was like then it was like 3 grand, 3 grand. Then it was like seven. Then it jumped up to 20.
12,
Then
and then
up to
24, then it went to 52, 52, 52, then it went to 70, 70, 70, and then I think at that time,
and then it dropped down. But
yeah. So I mean,
and then last year he played, he made like 25,000 though.
oh,
So he made like probably half a million or so over the course of his career.
but if we apply those numbers to nowadays money, he probably would have made
Um,
highest paid player ever.
well, if you just well,
Let's minus the gangster stuff, the hot dogs, the beers, that shit. Let's just baseball. 40, 50 home runs for a consecutive amount of years and keep going, and then the pitching. He's the highest paid player ever in the modern day ever if he were to play and produce those numbers.
yeah,
And he'd probably be the one guy that would be fitting of deserving that money. You know what I mean? Shohei Ohtani just last year just only got paid I think 5.5
right. Well,
for his career. I think he's at like 11 million. That's it.
right. Well, I'm about to try to see if I can find the. Okay, so $100 in 1927 is worth 1,600 today. So if he made, like, dude,
That's, you see what I'm saying? Highest paid player ever. So for every hundred, all right. So $1,900 times $1,600. All right. So let's do this. 1,900 times 1,600. That's 3 million first year.
do 52 times the.
I got you.
Oh my. 52,000 times.
1,600.
Yeah.
$83 million.
So yeah, when we initially were talking about it before I looked it up in my head, we were like, oh, highest player ever. In my head, I initially was like, oh, he's probably at about 100 million, and I was actually right.
Dude, that's just
I
one.
just didn't
That's
know.
one. Danny, that's 1 year. He had 3 years of 50 grand.
More than 3 years.
Okay, so we'll say four.
Oh, right, you're right. Yeah,
Doug, he's at 200. He's at like 25. He's at 250 million.
yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, right. Damn.
Doug, you add that all up. He's a billionaire.
Yeah, right.
The highest paid player ever.
Yeah, you got that. You're right. Yeah, shit.
Now it's in retrospect. All right, so no. Give me his grand total. Grand total for his career. What he made.
All right, hold on one second. Let me get
Because
this
we'll just solve that right now. It's definitely 2 billion plus.
Yeah, because I found that in Baseball Almanac. So just give me a second.
No problem. Well, while you're looking that up, Miami's up 36-32 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, counting in the second. Tatum bringing it up, cross and go over. PJ Tucker on him. Drives to the middle. Offensive foul on Tatum. I don't know what Tatum was thinking. Now his knee is hurt. He's down on the ground, thriving in pain. He made the crossover, pushed to the middle, and just ran into someone's body. No Euro step, no none. He went to actually play bully ball, and now the fucker's hurt. Shoulder hurts, knee hurts, wrist hurt. The prima donna's a little bitch.
Yeah, sorry, give me 1 second. It's taking a little longer than I wanted it to. Come on now. Why you gotta take so long?
right here. Babe Ruth, widely regarded as one of the greatest baseball players ever, has earned an estimated $856,850.
Okay.
17,356,541 inflation adjusted from $1934 over his entire playing career. So he wasn't the highest paid player ever. But if we went at that, like, $1,600 to $100, and that applied throughout his whole career, he probably would have been paid
Yeah.
the most
Man.
ever.
That's still a lot of fucking money though.
Oh yeah, but and you know what the funniest thing is? Like they're just doing it inflation adjusted over time. We're not talking about the fact of the matter is that at if he had these stats now, Babe Ruth can name his price. Like literally,
Yeah.
I want a bill. I want a bill. And arguably after like 6 seasons, his first 6 seasons, you couldn't be like, no. You probably be
Yeah.
like, all right, let's
Yeah.
just put him to the 15-year deal at a bill. You know what I mean? And his production would say he's absolutely fucking worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'd probably be one of the only players that met his, you know what I mean?
Expectations.
Yeah, no, expectations of pay. You know what I mean?
Like, oh yeah, yeah, like, oh, he's justified worth 400 million. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
He justified for that bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at the numbers. Like, put it this way: I've made more money than him off of him. So yeah, absolutely, he's worth the fucking bill. And we're not even adding in advertisements, sponsorships, worth to the franchise.
Yeah. I mean, back then, I mean, I'm sure he wasn't. I mean, he might have did like maybe a commercial or maybe like a radio ad or something, but I mean, not like it is today with
Cigars,
cigars.
cigarettes, scotch, beer, athletic equipment. And Babe Ruth was the party guy. You know what I mean? He was that like that guy that'll blow up the club, right? Not blow it up in a sense like, but just have the club in a frenzy without being a gangster.
Right.
Walk in, just women on his arm.
Paying
Walk
for
in.
everybody's drinks.
Yeah, I mean, not even that. As soon as he walks in the door, the whole the whole club's gonna erupt. Yo, that's Babe fucking Ruth.
Right.
So you could, like, at that time, look at the gangsters that were around at this time. Al Capone. Sorry, if Babe Ruth walks into the fucking club, Al Capone is now a whisper.
Yeah, I agree.
It's Babe fucking Ruth. Yeah, you a gangster. You kill people. You bout it.
Right.
That guy didn't have to do half of what you did, and everybody loves him.
Yeah. Now that everybody did, yeah, he was the talk of the town. He was.
I'd imagine he was probably the most loved person in the Major League Baseball the time he played. And granted, there was other players that people loved, but
Yeah.
like the one MVP. Come on, let's be real. There's no way Babe Ruth, with his stats, is putting up one MVP.
It really should have been at least 7 or 8. Like 7 World Series titles. It should have been the same amount.
Yeah, or near it, 5, 6.
4 or 5. Yeah.
And then like 10, 12 fucking All-Star appearances.
Yeah, at least.
And you know what's sad is, like, which I think we should discuss in weeks to come, like putting up Babe Ruth's career against some suspect ass Hall of Famers.
I mean, look, if you look at Babe Ruth's stats, there's nobody like there's only one guy in the Hall that's got more home runs than him, and that's Hank Aaron. So,
And Hank was a monster.
Yeah, we can compare Hank and we can compare fucking
Ooh.
Babe Ruth next week.
No, not next week. 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, 2 weeks.
No, but I'm down for that. So Hank versus Babe, just batting,
all right.
batting.
Yep, I'll write that down.
You know what I mean? Because Hank, like, it's not no fault to Hank. It's not no fault to to Babe that Babe pitched and Hank didn't pitch. If we're gonna talk about Babe's most valuable asset, that would be his hitting.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. So you guys have something to look forward to in the next 2 weeks. We'll be digging up them stats, and you guys should dig up some stats and some highlights and tweet us about it. You know what I mean? things that we should keep in mind for that discussion. But I would say me and Danny have come upon an agreement. Shohei has to hit certain stats.
Yes.
If he doesn't, okay, he's still the Babe Ruth of this era. He's just not the equivalency
Yeah.
of his impact and how good he really was
Right.
at that time. Now, if he puts up those numbers, we can't deny that Shohei Ohtani is actually the better player.
The better pitcher.
No, the better pitcher and better player. If he hits those numbers, the 550 home runs,
Oh.
you know what I mean? All that, because he's playing in a tougher era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, like I said, granted, Babe Ruth has more gangster moments. There's no way Shohei Ohtani's going up there and with his big fucking bright smile looking at the pitcher going, yeah, I'm going right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I heard the other day they were talking about, we're not touching on the Tim Anderson thing. We're not doing it. Like we told you guys last week, we're here for the sports.
Yes.
But the one example out of this is if Shohei had came out in a press conference 3 years ago and said, I am the next Babe Ruth, he would have been marked out.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mother would have checked him.
Yep. Definitely.
Immediately. Like, dog, you don't throw that name around. You let everybody else put the label on. You don't put that label on yourself. For you to put that label on yourself without the backing of it, stats-wise, that's wrong.
Or not even stats wise. Are you as athletic, or are you as good of a hitter, or as good of a fielder,
Or pitcher.
whatever?
So, like, I agree with all the sports, talk radio shows that are bigger than us that are saying, like, look, there's certain things you don't say.
Yeah.
Right? And that would be one of them things, right? Because unless you're prepared to back it up and thoroughly back it up, you look like an idiot. So, if I would say anything to players, pay the homage to the older players because they paved the way.
Yep.
Right? And let the public speak for you being better or worse than them. That's it. You go out there, you play your game, you meet your goals, you do what you do, get paid, support your family. Follow the Most High. Follow whatever God you praise. Stay true to who you are. That's all I would say. Because I don't think Shohei's out there thinking like I gotta be better than Babe. I think Shohei's out here like I just gotta be me and I gotta be the best me.
Right.
Because right now, looking at it like we just did on stats, that's a far track to come up on.
Definitely.
That's almost like looking at it, even if like you're fresh and you're really good your first year, like that mountain to climb, that's Everest. And the fact that I bring that up is I want everybody, including my fucking mom, to have respect, because this guy's attempting to climb the mountain that nobody's ever climbed before.
And he's probably gonna fail, but I want to see how high he gets. Honestly.
Yeah, but you know what? So what if he fails? At least he had the balls to climb the mountain.
Like you said, he's the first guy in 100 years to do this. He's not the first two-way player.
No, he's the first two-way player to give you a glimpse of what Babe looked like 100 years ago.
These other two-way players, they played other sports. He's a two-way player
within his own sport.
In one sport, doing two positions.
No, we've seen it in basketball and in Major League Baseball, right? And sometimes in football, only sometimes, right? But in the aspect of when you go to pros, you play one position majority of the time.
Yeah.
Right? You just do your job. In 100 years, we only see one guy do it all. Now we're seeing it again. So it's different. The game has changed, like you said.
That universal DH is going to take him out the field. So now it's like going to kind of alter his conversation because you got to figure.
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
No. All right. So
over the last couple of years, when I've heard them talking about Edgar Martinez going into the Hall of Fame, the fact that he was a DH primarily his whole career, kind of like.
But see, Yeah, but here's the fucked up thing about that. I didn't assign this position to baseball. You did. I'm a DH. Okay? So what if I'm a DH? A DH is still a part of the game. It's so a part of the game they made it universal. So my
Right.
job is to hit.
That's it. I don't have to field.
I don't have to field. Based on my hitting career, I should be a Hall of Famer, whatever however you do it, X's and O's, whatever,
Right.
you amount. So, like for Otani, in that situation, it's like, look, I'm doing what no one else has ever done. And I'm getting paid way less than the highest paid guy in the league. And guess what? I do more than him. Yeah, I mean, like, where does that line up?
Right. No, I hear that. Yeah. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
And that's the beauty of it.
It's gonna
That's
be
the
fun.
beauty of it. And that's
Just stays healthy though.
yes, and I hope that brings people like myself back to baseball.
And other people.
Like myself or other people to baseball to watch.
Because I'll tune into an Angels game just to watch him
Yes, exactly.
pitch and then hit.
Yes. So like I hope that brings more people to baseball because this is what baseball needed.
Yeah.
100%.
Baseball needs this, and
Even if he doesn't win a World Series or a Cy Young, baseball needed this.
Yeah.
Like and the rumor that we talked about, and we'll touch on for another 30 seconds. He could be going to the Mets.
I mean, I read an article where the Mets could be a player for him if he was available. And honestly, wow. Can you imagine Otani and fucking Pete Alonso back to back in that lineup?
With Marte, all them guys. And then pitching? Dude, like
I mean, it's nothing against certain other guys in the league.
No.
Like,
But
outside of him, or maybe honestly, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. or an Aaron Judge or something like that. There's really nobody else like as prominent of a name that you could really pair with Pete Alonso. Like to get a real superstar player or a Juan Soto kind of player.
yeah.
But
To just have him go to New York. He's an icon already. All over the world.
that's
right?
gonna
That iconship or whatever.
And you want to know what? It just popped in my head. I mean, maybe it doesn't happen, but you want to know why I think he'll become a Met?
Why?
Well, the Yankees had fucking Hideki Matsui. That was Godzilla in New York. Well, now the Mets are gonna get fucking Shohei, and he's better than Hideki Matsui.
Don't go that far yet. He is better. He is. But Hideki, for his time, was a monster.
Oh, Hideki was the man, and I'm not a Yankee fan, but I like
Hideki was the shit. I love Hideki. Godzilla?
Yeah.
Fucking fire. He goes to the Mets. He's an icon over the world. He goes to New York. He's the face of Queens. Probably the face of New York over Aaron Judge. Sorry. Who's more appealing? Aaron Judge? Shohei. Sorry. He becomes a face in New York, the icon, dude. And especially if he keeps doing what he does. It goes to the Mets and wins a World Series, and let's say he does he goes 13-7, 2.5 ERA, the strikeouts, hits 45 home runs, all that. You know he's gonna be MVP.
He's gonna win another one.
And then pair him with DeGrom, Scherzer, Bissett, all them guys in that lineup, and then he's contributing and hitting. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
All right, so we've been talking about who's the king of New York. We've been saying the Mets, the changing of the guard. They get Shohei Otani. Ain't no changing of the guard. Give me this. Go over there.
Yeah.
This is my show now. I am Showtime. I am Shohei. This is my shit. Now, he'll never do that. What we're doing right. This is my shit. He'd be like, I'm here,
But in a sense, like, 'cause that's how fans are gonna feel like, yo, this is our town now. Like, this
Oh
is.
yeah. This is Mets town now. This ain't Yankee town. This is Met town. Besides the Bronx.
Granted, yes, the Yankees have won a lot of championships, but that's the past. Granted, that's their pedigree. That's
Well, that'll keep them there. You know what I mean?
But still,
But
in the present moment,
to get Shohei Ohtani, that's a move over. If they don't get Shohei Ohtani and they win a World Series, that's a move over.
yeah.
But I think, oh man, I couldn't even imagine. I'd be so excited.
Yo, that'd be fantastic.
I'm a Rockies fan. I'm a Met fan through you. I mean, because my hatred for the Yankees and what whatever that is, we'll get into that early. But like to have Shohei, that lineup, fucking DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking Shohei out there pitching a 7-game fucking shutout. Fucking jacks 2 home runs. Fucking steals 2 bases. Along with Marte, Escobar, Nemo, Alonso, McNeil, fucking
Tom Smith. And then think of it this way.
Lindor too.
Think of it this way. He comes to New York at like 28 years old, or even 29. He's definitely signing at least like an 8-year contract, 8 to 10-year deal, regardless. And then imagine Francisco Alvarez comes up, Ronnie Mauricio comes up. Oh my!
And then whoever they have left.
Oh man!
God.
Future's looking real bright.
It is. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for this week. We thank you guys. We bless you guys. Hope you guys have a great of your week. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys are safe. Hope you guys are healthy. It's been real. It's been fun. It had been real fun. See you later, guys.
Peace.